Per la prima volta nella storia della Coppa del Mondo, alla vigilia delle regate, facciamo un collegamento in diretta con il catamarano numero 1, dove a bordo c'è un'altra voce, l'altra voce italiana che ci sta accompagnando per questa Coppa del Mondo. Un giornalista con un sangue misto, ligure, toscano, campano e siciliano, proprio per questa familiarità con nonni di diverse regioni d'Italia. Una carriera all'interno del canottaggio lunga già più di 10 anni, ma un amico, una persona che con grande passione racconta lo sport del remo. 5 anni con Canottaggio Vero, 4 con canottaggio.org. Oggi la sua terza vita remiera con Canottaggio Mania. Una voce squillante ma dall'accento ligure, perché lui in realtà arriva da Genova, e con piacere che saluto Marco Callai. Ciao Marco!
Luca, sono veramente commosso da questa tua presentazione e questo mi aiuta a superare sicuramente il freddo che sto provando in questo momento quando mancano 6 minuti all'inizio delle semifinali. Sono naturalmente in fremente attesa in primo luogo degli equipaggi azzurri e poi di capire qual è il valore dei nostri avversari.
Marco, prima di parlare della Coppa del Mondo, così andiamo a braccio, ci vuoi raccontare quali sono le tue impressioni di questa organizzazione, questo campo di regate internazionale Varese, le tue impressioni di questa Coppa del Mondo?
Sono tutte ottime impressioni, frutto della grande esperienza di questo comitato organizzatore che lavora con grandissimo impegno da 5 anni. Ricordiamo, quinto grande evento internazionale consecutivo dopo gli europei del 2012, la World Rowing Master Regata del 2013, Mondiali Under 23 del 2014 e poi le due prove di Coppa del Mondo. Stiamo vedendo all'opera i tantissimi volontari qui presenti, reclutati attraverso i media, attraverso la canottieri Varese, poi 307 studenti protagonisti dell'esperienza scuola-lavoro in collaborazione con il MIUR. Veramente c'è un grande fermento, un grande movimento, una grande passione verso questo sport, il canottaggio.
Non possiamo perdere il cronometro di vista qui in Torre d'Arrivo, veramente con una regia meravigliosa, capitanata da Matt con tutto lo staff. Dici prima di lasciarci, di salutarci, ma poi ci risentiremo dall'acqua, cosa dobbiamo aspettarci da questo pomeriggio secondo te?
È una bella domanda, caro Luca. Io credo che ci dobbiamo aspettare gare combattute, perché in palio c'è l'accesso alla prima vera grande finale di questo 2000. La strada verso Rio de Janeiro è appena iniziata, tutti gli equipaggi naturalmente si aspettano di verificare gradualmente dei progressi verso quello che è il grandissimo sogno olimpico, senza dimenticare che tra poco più di un mese ci sarà chi passerà da Lucerna per cercare di coronare il proprio grande sogno e quindi di ottenere il pass olimpico.
Grazie a Marco Callai, appuntamento tra 5 minuti per l'inizio ufficiale del nostro programma gare.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes until the start of this afternoon's races. It's the semi-finals of the women's pair.
Signore e signori, mancano solo 3 minuti all'inizio ufficiale. Riprenderemo il nostro programma con la semifinale per il 2 senza femminile, una gara veramente importante perché qui c'è in palio la finale, quella che poi permetterà di conquistare le medaglie. Semifinale 2 senza femminile.
The lineup: in lane 1, the Netherlands, Aletta Joritsma, Helen Boers. In lane 2, Poland, Anna and Maria Webzbowska. In lane 3, Germany, Kirsten Hartmann and Catherine Marchand. In lane 4, Italy 1, Alessandra Patelli, Sara Bertolazzi. In lane 5, Spain, Ana Boado Pero and Aina Sid. And lane 6, Canada, Jennifer Martins, Kylie Filmer.
In questa prima semifinale abbiamo l'Olanda in acqua 1, in acqua 2 la Polonia, in acqua 3 la Germania, in acqua 4 l'equipaggio azzurro di Alessandra Patelli e Sara Bertolasi, in acqua 5 la Spagna e in acqua 6 il Canada.
So to recap, it's Netherlands in lane 1, Poland lane 2, Germany lane 3, Italy 1 lane 4, Spain lane 5, Canada lane 6. We're talking up until 7:50. So they're still static, are they? The comments. Okay, they're underway. And they are underway in this first semi-final of the World Rowing Cup 1 in Varese, Italy. And this should be a race of the highest quality. We have the crew from Germany who've already qualified for the Olympic Games, winners of Heat 1. The Italian crew of Bertolazzi and Patelli won their heat very comfortably yesterday. But look out for Spain as well. They came second in Heat 2, but in a very fast time indeed. Netherlands, Poland and Canada, well, they all had to come through the repechage. So 2 races for each of those crews yesterday. May have taken its toll, but these guys are really fit, so they'll probably be fresh enough to be competitive in this one. But Germany, Italy, Spain, that should be the real battle to look out for.
Non sarà una gara facile questa del 2 senza femminile. Per darvi una panoramica generale, la Germania in acqua 3, l'equipaggio in acqua 3 della Germania è già qualificato per le Olimpiadi di Rio de Janeiro. Questo vuol dire che ha messo fieno in cascina lo scorso anno, riuscendo già a staccare il pass per l'evento a 5 cerchi. L'Italia invece lo sta ancora rincorrendo in acqua 4. La Spagna è molto forte, ha rinforzato l'equipaggio in acqua numero 5, quindi qui bisognerà lottare per le prime 3 posizioni. Ricordiamo ancora, solo i primi 3 equipaggi passano il turno e centrano la finale A, gli altri andranno in finale B e quindi la vita sarà ancora più dura. In questo momento al passaggio ai 1000 metri c'è Germania e Italia lì davanti.
At 500 metres, split times, well, there's really nothing in it. Just a couple of seconds separating all 6 crews. Italy and Germany and Poland absolutely side by side with Spain as well. Netherlands not far off them, probably just half a canvas behind. And then Canada a little bit further back. So really very little in it. But Italy, Germany, Poland, Spain right up there as they come up to the 750 metre mark. Let's head down to the water then and join for the first time this afternoon, France.
And we see all 6 boats approaching us in virtually level positions. As you call them out, Rob, slightly there for Germany and Italy and Poland moving with them, but the Netherlands, Spain and Canada not far off the pace here. But it does look as though the home crowd may be able to cheer on its first A final place in the women's pair, because Sara Bertolazzi and Alessandra Patelli are moving very well.
Una gara sicuramente molto equilibrata. Ci stiamo avvicinando ai primi 1000 metri con le nostre Alessandra Patelli e Sara Bertolasi in acqua numero 4 che se la stanno cavando davvero egregiamente. Al loro fianco in acqua 5 spingono le spagnole Boada Peiro e Cid, ma attenzione soprattutto alle tedesche Hartmann e Marchand. Tra poco potremo avere un primo chiaro riferimento, ma le nostre azzurre stanno veramente lottando alla grande.
Approaching 1,000 meters, it's the Italian pair taking the lead with about half a length up on the German pair, and then it's level pegging between Poland and Spain, with Canada in 5th and the Netherlands in 6th position. So the Italian pair, they have yet to qualify for Rio, but they want to make the best out of this season, and well, they're off to a good start. At least they're setting themselves up for a final spot in the women's pair. But it looks as though Spain, who dropped off the pace in the first part of the race, may have something to respond, and also Poland still in it.
Alessandra e Sara, Patelli e Bertolasi, anzi Patti e Berti, mezza barca di vantaggio sulla Germania ai 1000 metri, non si limitano però a controllare, stanno continuamente attaccando per cercare di staccare non solo le tedesche ma soprattutto le polacche e le spagnole. Una di queste 4 imbarcazioni non entrerà in finale. Ale Italia!
And we see the Dutch sitting in 6th position there, the bronze medalist of the Euro 2014 Championships, Aletta Jorritsma and Helen Boers. They are the spare pair of the women's 8, which is also yet to qualify. The pair has qualified, but that was done by 2 different athletes last year, by Olivia van Rooyen and Ellen Hogenwerf. Boers and Jorritsma, they have speed in the pair, but they have yet to pick it up in this race. Maybe they can do something in the second part, but at the front of the field, it's still Italy moving confidently, I'd say. It looks, Sebastian, as though they have this race under control. What's your opinion on that?
Well, I think there's some work to be done by all the leading 4 crews, because the Spanish crew is closing in fast now on the Italians and on the Germans. Italy and Germany being level for first place though, and then it's Poland hanging back just half a length. So 4 boats within half a length right now, and the Spanish combination of Ana Boada Peiro, who raced this boat last year at the world level, combining up with Aina Cid, they are taking charge of this race now. And what can the Italians do to respond? On the other hand, the Polish are losing ground, so the leading trio being Spain, Italy and Germany in that order, with 400 meters left in this race. Poland, what can they do? It's the combination of the sisters, Anna Maria Wierzbowska. Can they do something special on the last 350 meters? That would leave them 40 strokes roughly from this point in the race. Italy responding, Sara Bertolasi, she's aiming for her second Olympic Games row, so she was there in 2012 in the B final. Can she do better this year? They respond, they come up again on the Spanish. It's Spain and Italy, then Germany a length down in 3rd place, and Poland closing in as well. That's gonna be a good one till the end. Luca, please.
Siamo in chiusura, grazie Sebastian, ultimi 300 metri. Per andare a completare questa sfida, e qui bisogna far sentire la tifoseria, perché potete fare la differenza. Sebastian diceva, Sara Bertolasi sta rincorrendo la seconda Olimpiade con una nuova compagna, Alessandra Patelli, che potrebbe essere la sua prima. Bisogna arrivare nelle prime 3 per passare il turno, e in questo momento la tifoseria di casa può fare la differenza. In un'intervista alla Prealpina questa mattina si diceva che le italiane hanno maggiore forza in chiusure, allora l'esterno attacca la Germania, già qualificata per Rio de Janeiro, risponde molto bene alla Spagna. L'Italia si scompone un pelo ma ritorna in corsa in questo momento. Le prime 3 vanno in finale A, e allora ancora attacco all'esterno della Germania, risponde alla Spagna, e lì l'Italia. Sono le prime 3 posizioni che passano in finale A, e sul traguardo l'Italia regala una grande gioia, una grande finale A, poi la Germania e la Spagna.
Germany and Spain cross the line almost equal, and the 3rd place goes to Italy. They are through to the final of the women's pair. Terrific result for them, but well done as well to the leading crews there. Very close to call. It just went the way of Spain ahead of Germany by 5/100ths of a second. You can't get much closer than that, with Italy taking 3rd place just a couple of seconds behind. So it is Spain, Germany, Italy 1 through to the final of the women's pair.
Una di quelle gare che ti mette forti emozioni, Alessandra Patelli che ha preso un pesce in chiusura, ma l'equipaggio che è comunque riuscito a transitare in terza posizione grazie alla concentrazione, determinazione e voglia di fare. Così vittoria della Spagna, al secondo posto la Germania, terza l'Italia. Questi i tre equipaggi che vanno in finale A.
So to the second semi-final then of the women's pair. Will we get a second Italian crew through as well? Because Italy 2 go in lane 2 with Serbia 2 in lane 1. Serbia 1 the other side of Italy 2 in lane 3. South Africa lane 4. Russia 1 lane 5. Argentina in lane 6.
Siamo già con la seconda semifinale del 2 senza femminile, qui c'è l'equipaggio Under 23, Serbia in acqua 1, Italia Under 23 in acqua 2, Serbia 1 in acqua 3, Sudafrica in acqua 4, Russia in acqua 5, Argentina in acqua 6.
South Africa were very quick in the heats, the quickest of all the crews. They also have qualified this boat for Rio 2016. Serbia did very well in just pipping Canada for direct qualification from the heats through to the semi-finals. They'll be good contenders here, as indeed we'd expect from Russia 1. But they're coming up to around the 750 meter mark, and that's where Franz can pick up the commentary for us.
On South Africa, that would be my advice for this semi-final. Leanne Percy and Kate Kristovich were very fast in the heats, as Rob just mentioned, and they do look as though they have great speed in this pair. Percy rode in the pair for the last couple of seasons with a different partner. She has also had success at the under-23 and junior level. Now moved up to senior competition, will be competing in Rio, and is part of a very, very fast crew. But then again, the Serbians, Iliva Filipovic and Joanna Arsic, the Serbia 1 crew in lane 3. Both single scullers, actually. Both raced in the single at different stages of last season. Now come together in the pair and, well, having a good run out of it. But the second Italian crew of Camelia Papadalo and Ludovica Serafini, they have sort of gutsy tried to move ahead of Serbia in the first part of the race. So it's South Africa 1, Italy 2 in second, and then Serbia 1 in third.
Che bella la notizia della qualificazione in finale di Sara Bertolasi e Alessandra Patelli, ma che bello potervi dire, cari amici, che Carmela Pappalardo e Ludovica Serafini passano seconde ai 1000 metri dietro le sudafricane Kristowicz e Perse, in terza posizione, leggermente staccate dalle azzurre le serbe Arsic e Filipovic. Una gara davvero molto coraggiosa da parte delle giovanissime Under 23 azzurre, che sono seconde, davvero non hanno timore, paura di nessuno. In testa, ricordiamo, il Sudafrica.
And the unlucky fourth at this point of the race is Russia. Russia 1. We see a very good Russian sweeps rowing team here competing today. We saw the 8 earlier today putting a good performance. But for this pair, it looks as though this may be the end of their path towards the medals, only to leave the B final. Clearly in front, though, still South Africa. Then in second, it's still Italy 2. And, well, these are young athletes, as Marco just explained in Italian, still under 23. So this is a race for them where they can gain experience up until the Under-23 World Championships later on this season. And what the question is really, Sebastian, will they be able to hold on to their position, or will they run out of steam?
At the moment, it doesn't look like they're running out of steam. I must say, I'm my deepest respect, Carmela Pappalardo and Ludovica Serafini, both born in '95, so they have at least one more year after this one in the under-23s. Both raced in the sculling side of the under-23 events last year. The Pappalardo was in the single scull in the B final there at the under-23 World Rowing Championships, and 7th place in the double scull for Serafini. So a good combination, and they chased the South Africans, who still got hold of this race here. Two lengths is the margin between these two crews as we come to the last quarter of this race, this semi-final number 2 of the women's pair. Who's third at the moment? At the moment, it looks to be going Russia's way, but they are struggling a little bit here with the technique. Russia overtaking the crew from Serbia now with very experienced single sculler Ivana Filipovic on the stroke seat. She won a medal in the single scull a few years back at the European level and also raced the single scull last year, as my colleague Franz already mentioned. Can the Serbians do something there? Because the Argentinians and Serbia too, with Iva Obradovic on the stroke seat, is a little bit behind here, so not within reach of one of the first three places that would bring them through to the A final. South Africa really in charge of this race, and Italy looks safe and secure in second or third places, but well clear of the fourth place crew from Serbia.
Solo le prime tre imbarcazioni andranno in finale. Sarebbe bellissimo vedere che appunto anche le Under 23 riuscissero a raggiungerlo, ma è proprio così. Carmela Pappalardo e Ludovica Serafini, due atlete che si sono preparate per l'intera stagione al Circolo Canottieri Aniene e che ora ancora crescono sempre per cercare di andare a raggiungere traguardi importanti proprio tra le Under 23. Sono giovanissime, classe 1995, una nata l'8 agosto e l'altra il 5 ottobre. Intanto a condurre sono i colori del Sudafrica, quinte allo scorso campionato del mondo, già qualificate per le Olimpiadi di Rio de Janeiro. Attacca in questo momento all'interno l'equipaggio della Russia, proprio sull'equipaggio italiano Under 23. Il Sudafrica va a vincere, poi Italia e ancora la Russia.
South Africa then crossing the line in first place. Battle for second and third probably just goes the way of Italy too. Either way, Italy too are through to the semi-finals along with Russia 1. We have two Italian crews through to the final tomorrow of the women's pair. So it will be South Africa, Italy 2, Russia 1, Spain, Germany and Italy 1 in tomorrow morning's final.
Bellissimo sul traguardo il rimontone della Russia, ma nulla cambia. Vittoria del Sudafrica, al secondo posto l'Italia Under 23 di Pappalardo e Serafini, terza la Russia.
We now move on to the semi-finals of the men's pair.
Ci spostiamo ora e andiamo a presentarvi la prossima semifinale, il 2 senza maschile.
Semi-final 1, Lane 1, Russia 3. Lane 2, Serbia. Lane 3, South Africa. Lane 4, Netherlands 1. Lane 5, Russia 1. Lane 6, Chile.
In acqua 1 la Russia 3, in acqua 2 la Serbia, in acqua 3 il Sudafrica, in acqua 4 l'Olanda 1, in acqua 5 Russia 1, in acqua 6 il Cile.
Well, this event has, of course, been dominated down the years by the New Zealand pairing of Murray and Bond. They're not here, so it gives other crews a chance to shine. Franz, I'm sure we'll have a very close eye on the Serbians, Bedic and Vasic, bronze at the World Championships last year. But the crews alongside them, South Africa, Netherlands 1, and indeed Russia 1, will be certainly giving them a run for their money.
Right, Rob. I'm particularly looking at the crew in lane 4, and that is the Dutch pair of Roel Braas in the bow side and Mitchell Steinman row in stroke side. It actually would be full circle for them to win here at Varese, because this is where it all started for them last year. Mitchell Steinman originally paired with Roger Blink for the 2015 season, as he had done in the previous two seasons, which saw them, among other things, take a bronze medal at the 2013 Chongqing World Championships. But due to injury of Blink and due to a substandard performance of Braas at the European Championships in the single, they both moved into the pair just a couple of weeks before the Varese World Cup that was held here last year, and they took gold here in Varese, went on to win the World Cup cycle in 2015, and they took a fourth at the World Championships behind, as you mentioned, Serbia, Nenad Bedic and Milos Vasic, and these crews look to measure up there. In the heats, the Serbian crew wasn't looking that fluid and that good, but now here they are at the front of the field again, approaching 1,000 meters. It's Serbia and the Netherlands vying it out with South Africa in third. Russia 3 and Russia 1 are in fourth and fifth, and then Chile in sixth position. But now crossing the 1,000 meter, it's just the Netherlands with about a canvas edge over Serbia, and half a length down on them is South Africa.
Gli olandesi Brass e Steeman nel 2 senza maschile, prima semifinale, sono partiti molto forti, ma devono fare subito i conti con i serbi Bedic e Vasic ai 1000 metri, una punta di imbarcazione di vantaggio con in mezzo il Sudafrica di Britain e Keeling che sta dando il loro filo da torcere. Questi tre equipaggi sarebbero virtualmente qualificati per la finale. Attenzione però ai russi Efremenko e Podishalov che sono quarti. In quinta posizione i connazionali Stradaev e Shupelov, in sesta i cileni Lea Latero e Vasquez Ochoa.
And if you look on the face of Mitchell Stamen, you see a racer. And this is also something for people new to rowing. You'd think it's just about mechanically moving your boat from A to B, but it's not just that. It's really about racing. It's emotional and mental, just as it is physical. And Mitchell Stamen has this racing skills down to perfection. He likes to compete. He likes to race. He starts a lot of races also nationally to just keep his racing spirits up. And here he is vying it out with the Serbians. Sebastian, they are coming your way. And I would expect the Serbians to make a push to challenge for the lead. But then again, the question would be, can the Dutch respond? And can the South Africans hold on to their qualifying spot?
Well, actually, so far, Mitchell Steinman and Rubras have found an answer to the question set on them by the Serbians, Nenad Bedic and Milos Vasic, the bronze medalist of last year. So it's the battle here between, as you said, bronze medalist, the Serbian pair, and the fourth place crew from the Netherlands, with the better end so far, with 450 meters left of this race for the Netherlands. South Africa now upping the rate. Lawrence Britton on strokes on bow seat has called something. Sean Keeling, his strokeman, responds, and off they go, and they draw level with the Serbians and close in on the Dutch, who still have one length and a meter of open water on the other crews. Let's look at the Russians, Efremenko and Pochivalov. They are coming closer to the leading trio as well, so it might be something special to watch here on the last quarter. The other crews probably out of contention for the qualifying slots, Chile and Russia, but there's four crews in contention, including the Russians, with the Netherlands ahead of South Africa and Serbia in the lead.
E allora in chiusura andiamo a volare con il 2 senza maschile, solo i primi tre per il passaggio del turno e, come diceva Sebastian, l'Olanda ancora davanti lì in acqua 4. Questo equipaggio che dimostra di avere una marcia in più, ma per la seconda e terza posizione c'è una bella bagarre. Attacca la Serbia, risponde il Sud Africa, ma in questo momento cerca di avvicinarsi anche all'altro equipaggio della Russia. Siamo in chiusura in queste ultime battute, rinviene molto bene anche la Serbia con l'Olanda, ma siamo sul traguardo. Olanda, Serbia e Sud Africa sono questi tre equipaggi a passare davanti.
Brass and Steinman steer Netherlands through to take this semi-final, and second place it is South Africa. Third, it's very tight indeed for third place between Russia 1 and Serbia. Maybe Serbia got there first. I will wait for official confirmation, but Netherlands 1 taking first place. They are through to the semi-finals.
Un arrivo veramente bellissimo che ha permesso di seguire da vicino forti emozioni, con l'Olanda capace di vincere alla grande per questa semifinale e quindi passare il turno in finale A domani. Al secondo posto la Repubblica del Sud Africa, per la terza posizione siamo ancora in attesa della conferma tra Serbia e Russia, perché questa gara è stata veramente vicinissima.
We'll confirm that result for you shortly as we set up the second semi-final of the men's pair, with Poland 1 in lane 1, Italy 1 lane 2, Great Britain 1 in lane 3, Spain in lane 4, Argentina lane 5, Great Britain 2 in lane 6.
La seconda semifinale del due senza maschile è già partita. Siamo con altri 6 equipaggi a contendersi le prime 3 posizioni. In acqua 1 la Polonia 1, in acqua 2 Italia 1 con Nicolò Mornati e Vincenzo Capelli. In acqua 3 la Gran Bretagna 1, in acqua 4 Spagna 5, Argentina 6, Gran Bretagna 2.
Well, this will be another intriguing race, this semi-final. We have South Africa, Lawrence Britton, Sean Keeling in lane 3. Either side of them, though, we have some... sorry, that was in the previous semi-final. Just looking at this one. It's the Great Britain team in lane 3 who were gold medalists in the Coxed pair in the Rowing World Championships last year. How will they be as they go on their own here in lane 3 with Spain alongside them and Italy 1 on the other side, who were 5th in the World Championships, and another Great Britain team who came through the reps, Great Britain 2 in lane 6. Let's get the latest from France.
Well, you're quite right, Rob, in pointing out those crews as the crews to watch in this race, because they were very fast through the heats, and we expect them to be not a lot slower here in the semi-final, if not a lot quicker. Especially the Italian crew of Niccolo Mornati and Vincenzo Capelli. They are a very experienced pair, 5th in the world last year, and Mornati, he's been around the block. He's been to his share of Olympics and World Championships, and he has had a lot of success also in different partners, and also former world champion in the men's 4, so he knows what it is to make a boat like this move. But he'll have heavy contention from the GB squad, Riley O'Donnell and Tarrant, and these 2 boats are currently making it out for 1st and 2nd, with them Spain back in 3rd, but Spain has yet to deal with Argentina, who is very close behind there. Coming up to the 1,000 meters, it's Capelli and Mornati just ever so slightly in the lead over Tarrant and Riley O'Donnell, but it's just level pegging, both boats moving through the 1,000 meters just as one, and then Argentina and Spain and even the 2nd GB crew are virtually level for 3rd.
Li stiamo passando. Vincenzo Capelli e Nicolò Mornati stanno superando gli inglesi Nathaniel Larry O'Donnell e Matthew Tarrant, che erano passati primi ai 1000 metri, veramente con un vantaggio leggerissimo sui nostri azzurri, che stanno dimostrando davvero di possedere grandi qualità, a cominciare dall'esperienza per proseguire poi con la grande predisposizione all'impegno. Quinti allo scorso mondiale di Aiguelet, stanno disputando una semifinale davvero molto buona. Sono decisamente in ritardo gli argentini Martin Lasserre e Rodrigo Murillo in 3ª posizione. In 4ª invece troviamo gli spagnoli Sigurd Björnsson e Vela Maggi. Azzurri sempre lì davanti insieme alla Gran Bretagna. Sarà una bella lotta di qui al traguardo. A te, Franz.
And here in pairs racing, it's also about experience in this particular boat class. And here I think that Mornati and Capelli have an edge. Riley O'Donnell and Tarrant have mostly been in big boats in recent years, and they have come together as a pair just recently as part of the GB selections. And also the Spanish pair of Vea Maggi and Sigurd Jonsson Bennett, they have been together in the pair for about 5 years now. So that should come in handy, Sebastian, in the last part of the race where you have to sprint, and that's all about coordination and teamwork. Who has the better cards there?
Well, while you were talking over the last 100 meters or so, it was indeed Nathan Riley O'Donnell and Matthew Tarrant who took charge of this race. They made a big push there and now have established a length and a half over Mornati and Capelli for Italy. But these two look comfortable there in the 2nd position, because the Spanish are 2 lengths down in 3rd position, a length clear of Argentina, who are still striking high. And I think that Lasserre and Murillo for Argentina might do something. They are known as fighters, as good sprinters to the end, and this is where it really hurts. You must know they sprint off the blocks, then they establish their race pace, but accumulate lactate all down the course, and on these last 250 meters it's where it's really hurts. And now the battle's on for 3rd place between Spain and Argentina, and it's also the 2nd British pair closing in. So let's see what's the view from the tower with the British Great Britain 1, that is Riley O'Donnell and Tarrant ahead of Italy.
Ci lascia ed è così che noi la raccogliamo. Gran Bretagna 1, campione del mondo in 2 con al campionato del mondo.
Third place, Spain in lane 4. Those are the unofficial results, along with Netherlands 1, South Africa and Russia 1. Again, unofficial results from the first of the men's pairs semi-finals.
Giustamente come diceva Rob, sono risultati ufficiosi, possiamo ancora andare a sottolinearli. Vittoria della Gran Bretagna, al secondo posto l'Italia, terza la Spagna.
Next on the course, we're back to the repechage in the women's double sculls.
La prossima gara ritorniamo con i recuperi del doppio maschile.
Going in lane 1 is Ukraine. In lane 2, Chile. Lane 3, Denmark. Lane 4, Finland. Austria take up lane 5.
In acqua 1 c'è l'Ucraina, in acqua 2 il Cile, in acqua 3 Danimarca, in acqua 4 la Finlandia, in acqua 5 l'Austria a lottare per le prime 2 posizioni che garantiscono il passaggio in finale.
So 2 final places up for grabs here after Italy won, China, Poland and the Netherlands qualified from yesterday's heats. These crews had to go through the repechage, and that is where they are now for their chance to get through to the A final. Just the first 2 crews across the line will make it. That's Ukraine, Chile, Denmark, Finland and Austria.
Solo 5 equipaggi in questo recupero. Ricordiamo che la specialità del doppio ha registrato solo 9 equipaggi in gara, quindi di conseguenza la possibilità di andare a evitare le semifinali perché il passaggio è diretto in finale, quindi batterie finali oppure recuperi e finali passando solo con una regata in meno. Ucraina, Cile, Danimarca, Finlandia ed Austria a darsi battaglia, con la Danimarca che è partita sicuramente molto forte, sta viaggiando una media di 17.6 al minuto, per quanto riguarda la velocità 33 i colpi invece al minuto, e la Danimarca davanti, ma vedremo cosa ci racconteranno ovviamente dall'acqua.
Well, through 600 meters, it looked like Denmark had a slender lead. What about as they approach you? How are you seeing it, France?
Well, not much different than you are, Rob, because it's indeed Denmark who is having an early showing here, but have not established much of a distance with the other crews. Still with them are Finland, also Austria in the outer lane, closest to the people on the grandstand. And on the far side, it's still Ukraine vying with them. 2 spots up for grabs for the final A. The remaining crews will contest the B final, so that will be for places 7 through 9 overall. At the moment, though, it looks as though Denmark indeed is set on maintaining its lead and putting itself in front of the field. They will cross the line first in 1,000 meters, then closely followed by Chile and Finland, who are virtually level. About a length distance between Denmark and then Chile and Finland, and then at about a length back it's Ukraine and Austria, so all crews still fairly evenly matched.
Recupero del doppio femminile con le danesi Jacobsen e Ollensen che passano ai 1000 metri con oltre mezza imbarcazione di vantaggio sulle finlandesi Varvio e Karpinen, e sulle cilene Yadue Ariaza e Abraham che sono terze ma assolutamente vicinissime alle finlandesi. Leggermente indietro ancora le ucraine Kravchenko e Dimchenko, e poi le austriache Farthofer e Pless. Sembra essere una lotta per la seconda posizione tra Cile e Finlandia, con le danesi Jacobsen e Ollensen che possono controllare.
Through 1250 meters, it's still in the lead Denmark with about a length difference over Chile and Finland. And Finland looked to be the stronger crew, but Chile was very aggressive in the first part of the race. A slight detail though, the Chilean crew is made up of two athletes who are 22 years apart in age. And we see the 40-year-old one, Soraya Jadwe Arrizia, in the bow seat, which just goes to demonstrate that rowing is a sport that you can keep on competing competitively to, well, one would say slightly advanced more age than footballers and other sports. So indeed, good to see you here out on the course, but let's see what's more important. Will she be competing in the final A? Sebastian, how are things looking over at your end?
Well, the Chileans are still sitting on that third position there with a length down on the finish in second place. First place still held by Denmark, Lisbeth Jacobsen and Nina Hollensen. Lisbeth Jacobsen was in that place, in that boat that placed 13th, so won the C final at Aiguebelette last year, and they row a very fluent style, very high rates there. Same as applies for the Finnish, who are closing in on the Danish right now. So these two crews were clear of the rest of the pack, and the Chileans got some pressure from Ukraine. Kravchenko rowed this boat class at the Olympics in 2012 in London, teaming up with Diana Dimchenko, also a strong single sculler, and they put some pressure now on the Chileans for that third place there. But the first two were clear, so that's all that counts today, because Italy, China, Poland and the Netherlands already winning their heats or coming second. So here we are with two more crews to be found out for the A final, and the leading crews being Denmark and Finland.
Ed eccoci allora nelle boe rosse, questo vuol dire gli ultimi 250 metri di gara, gli ultimi 250, quelli che vanno ad assegnare ovviamente i pass per il passaggio del turno. E allora in questo momento parte ancora all'attacco questo doppio femminile della Danimarca che attacca insieme alla Finlandia in acqua 4. Queste sono le due imbarcazioni oramai in dirittura d'arrivo saldamente davanti, gli altri non c'entrano la finalissima, ma scivoleranno nella finale di consolazione. La finale B oramai è definita, Danimarca e Finlandia oramai chiusura.
Yes, it's going to be Denmark and Finland who are through to the A final. Clear winners there, with Denmark crossing the line half a length ahead of Finland, and they will join Italy 1, China, Poland and the Netherlands in the final of the women's double sculls.
E abbiamo quindi la conferma in questo momento, vittoria della Danimarca, con la Danimarca e la Finlandia che passa il turno, tutte le altre in finale B.
Next, we have two repechage in the men's double sculls with 4 A final places to be taken.
Cambiamo categorie e specialità, siamo nel settore maschile, la specialità è quella del doppio, 2 i recuperi, 4 posizioni, 2 per ogni recupero per andare a centrare la finale A. Nella prima c'è anche l'Italia con Fossi e Battisti, nella seconda invece solo 4 equipaggi, uno in meno rispetto alla prima.
Yes, Croatia and Switzerland qualified directly for the final from the heats. Who will join them too from this first repechage of Israel in lane 1, Italy 1 in lane 2, in lane 3 Norway, lane 4 Great Britain, lane 5 Estonia.
Israele in acqua 1, Italia come dicevamo in acqua 2 con Fosse Battisti, in acqua 3 la Norvegia, in acqua 4 la Gran Bretagna, in acqua 5 l'Estonia.
Well, the Norwegian boat, Kjetil Borch and Olaf Tufte, were quickest of these crews that are in the repechage, and they are in the central lane here. And one would expect great things from them, not just here today, but also in tomorrow's final. So Israel out in lane 1, Italy 1 in lane 2. It's the Norwegian boat in lane 3, with Great Britain alongside them, Nicholas Middleton and Jack Beaumont, and then Estonia in lane 5. Let's get an idea from France how things are looking in the early stages.
We see a good row here by the Italian crew, Ronano Battisti and Francesco Fossi. We would expect, though, them to come faster in the second part of the race. They are known for their quick finishes, and they will have some energy to spare. Meanwhile, Norway, Kjetil Borch and Olaf Tufte. Borch, a world champion in this event in 2013, then with Niels Jakob Hoff, now partnered with the very experienced Tufte for the first time in the Norwegian double since 2000, when he took a silver medal in the Sydney Olympics. He's now moved back into the team boats after a few seasons with disappointing results in the single, and this is his Olympic campaign, and he's doing very good here to be out here in front indeed. Meanwhile, Estonia sitting a bit back on the field, Israel sitting a bit back on the field, so we have three crews in front through the 1,000 meters, and the order was Norway through first, then Great Britain and Italy in third.
Non interrogare il domani, diceva il poeta Orazio, e i nostri top players Francesco Fossi e Romano Battisti ci hanno abituato a pensare gradualmente agli obiettivi importanti da raggiungere. Quest'anno sono le Olimpiadi di Rio de Janeiro, ma oggi c'è un'importante qualificazione alla finale da conquistare. In questo momento siamo al terzo posto, ma serve almeno superare la Gran Bretagna, che è seconda con Middleton e Beaumont. In testa abbiamo i norvegesi Borch e Tufte, ma i nostri azzurri assolutamente vogliono vendere a carissimo prezzo la pelle e stanno cercando di rientrare proprio sugli inglesi quando ci avviciniamo ai 1250 metri. Norvegia in testa, seconda la Gran Bretagna con l'Italia che sta recuperando.
So it's still moving ahead to the 1500 meters. It's Norway in first, then Great Britain in second, and Italy in third. And will we see a repeat of the London 2012 Olympics, where Italy were also bursting through in the final part of the race? Well, they will have to if they want to be in the final A here. This is their Olympic lineup, which has come together again after in 2015 racing in different boats at the World Championships. But at the moment, things are looking to go Norway's way, Sebastian.
That's absolutely true, and I see Olaf Tufte on the stroke seat. He looks as if he's never been in another boat. It's just great double scull rowing what these two display, and of course Kjetil Borch, the bowman, is former world champion from 2013, and the new lineup for Great Britain is doing well as well. Nicholas Middleton and Jack Beaumont are holding on to the stern, well, not virtually, not physically, holding on to that second place, and Fossi and Battisti really struggle here. They have to make up a lot of ground now. They have to pull off something special to be able to reach that A final, where Croatia and Switzerland as heat winners already wait for them. So at the moment it's not very good news for the home crowd, because Fossi and Battisti, two times medalists at world level, seem to be missing out at this point, with Norway leading Great Britain with 250 to go.
Siamo agli ultimi 250 metri, sarebbe veramente un grande peccato vedere l'Italia fuori dalla finale A. Questa imbarcazione che ha regalato l'unica medaglia importante alle Olimpiadi di Londra ed ora in chiusura è proprio fuori dai giochi. Siamo in queste ultime battute, attacca la Norvegia, risponde la Gran Bretagna, la Norvegia che schiera a bordo Olaf Tufte, che dopo la quarta posizione al campionato del mondo in singolo lascia il singolo, sale in doppio. Ale con queste ultime battute, l'Italia che cerca di rientrare ancora, può tentare il colpaccio ancora. Ale, Francesco Fossi con Romano che ci provano ancora, cercano di avvicinarsi alla Gran Bretagna, siamo sul traguardo e in queste ultime battute la Gran Bretagna riesce a mantenere.
It's Norway who crossed the line in first place. That push, that threat from the Italian crew over the British hasn't paid off. And Great Britain cross about a quarter of a length ahead of Italy to take that second A final qualification spot. So it's Norway and Great Britain who go through to join Croatia and Switzerland, the final two places to come.
E sul traguardo dobbiamo andare a confermarlo, vittoria della Norvegia sulla Gran Bretagna, peccato davvero per la coppiata azzurra terza e quindi in finale B.
So the last two final places to be claimed in this second repechage in the men's double sculls. Just 4 crews contesting this second repechage, with Spain going in lane 1. In lane 2, it's Poland. Lane 3, Cuba. Lane 4, Argentina.
Il secondo recupero del doppio maschile vede in acqua 1 la Spagna, in acqua 2 la Polonia, in acqua 3 Cuba e in acqua 4 l'Argentina.
So the boat's through 500 and around 750 metres now, which means they're in Fran's eye line. And what can you tell us, Franz?
Well, what can I tell you? It's at least one thing to look at the Argentinian crew of Ariel Suarez and Cristian Rosso. They are a very experienced double, and they were fourth in the London 2012 Olympics and have now come together again in the 2016 Olympic season. That's what we see athletes do more often, compete in different boats or taking some time away from the sport in the years right after the Olympics, only to come back into the sport and into the lineups at the 2016. So this is the Olympic season. However, they have some work cut out for them, because we have Cuba, Poland and Spain all sending strong crews, a bit more of unknown quantities in terms of international racing, but then again, results from the past are no guarantees for the future. Leaders through the 1,000 meters are Poland and Spain, with Cuba sitting in third and Argentina sitting in fourth.
La Spagna di Montero Gomez e Marti Rura assieme alla Polonia di Gabrowski e Xaia, queste le imbarcazioni nelle prime due posizioni nel passaggio dei 1000 metri. Cuba e Argentina sono distanze rispettivamente mezza imbarcazione e oltre 2 imbarcazioni, quindi le posizioni sembrano essere abbastanza delineate, ma attenzione ai cubani Rubio Rodriguez e Quen Ribanez che stanno cercando di rinvenire sui polacchi Grabowski e Xaia.
So if things stay this way, we get a final in the men's double sculls, which, well, if you had looked at the entries prior to this tournament, you would not have expected. For instance, the Swiss duo of Rusli and Stahlberg qualifying directly for the final A. They had a very good run yesterday, and also in the last semi-final we saw the GB double of Beaumont and Middleton. Not the Olympic boat, but these are also the GB squad rowers, and well, that they kept the Italian double of Fossi and Battisti out of the A final would not have been expected by everyone here. Now, these crews also starting to pull a bit more level now, and, well, Sebastian, maybe this will have some order changes in the last part of the race.
Yes, it looks to be a duel in the Spanish-speaking world, though, between the Cubans and the Spanish. The Cubans now making a big push. Big man also in the boat here, and they overtake the Spanish at this point. The young combination of Montero Gomez and Marti Rura, the former under-23 double for Spain last year, were in the final at the under-23 World Rowing Championships. But they found this pace set by the leading duo of Poland and Cuba quite hard to tackle here. And Argentina, still nothing special from them. A good fight though, but still some distance to cover on the leading cruise. Poland leading Cuba now by just under a length, and then it's Spain 1.5 lengths down, and they up the rate now and really fight for their final 8th place here, where Croatia, Switzerland, Norway and Great Britain are already waiting.
Oramai in chiusura ancora queste ultime battute per andare ad assegnare le prime 2 posizioni, il passaggio del turno, l'accesso in finale A. Come dicevamo, sono 4 gli equipaggi, ma solo 2 riusciranno a passare il turno, ed è netto il vantaggio della Polonia con Cuba per queste prime 2 posizioni. Ma attenzione, perché la Spagna in questo momento potrebbe tentare il colpaccio calando l'asso negli ultimi 200 metri. Una Spagna che sale nettamente il numero dei colpi, va ad incrementare su Cuba che non ha quello sprint necessario per passare, e allora continua intanto la corsa della Polonia, ma la Spagna si diventa veramente pericolosa. Allora ancora Polonia con Spagna e Cuba.
Great win. Spain claiming that, Poland claiming first place, I beg your pardon, and then second it's Cuba. And they will join Croatia, Norway, Switzerland and Great Britain in the final of the men's double sculls.
Sul traguardo la conferma vittoria della Polonia. Una grande vittoria per questo equipaggio con il tempo di 6:11:57. Al secondo posto Cuba, che riesce a staccare l'ultimo pass valido per il passaggio del turno e l'accesso in finale. Spagna ed Argentina dovranno accontentarsi della finale B.
We now move on to the repechage for the men's 4.
La prossima sfida sono i recuperi del 4 senza maschile.
4 crews have already qualified for the final, so 2 more places to be claimed from Italy 2 in lane 1, Spain in lane 2, Argentina in lane 3. In lane 4, it's Russia, lane 5, Serbia, South Africa in lane 6.
In acqua 1, Italia 2, con Capuano Liuzzi, Parlato e Tranquilli. In acqua 2, la Spagna. In acqua 3, l'Argentina. In acqua 4, Russia. Serbia in acqua 5. Repubblica del Sudafrica in acqua 6.
Well, the hosts, Italy, already have Italy 1 through into the final from yesterday's heats. They are probably the out-and-out favourites for this men's 4 and will be the favourites tomorrow come the final. Canada, Netherlands and USA, you would have also have expected to have progressed directly, and indeed they did. So which of these 6 crews lining up here will join them? Well, Russia were quickest of all these crews going in this repechage. And Spain also very quick, although they didn't win their heat. Argentina winning heat 1, but not as quick as Spain. In terms of the Italian challenge, Italy too were some way off the pace in the second heat. So it looks like this will very much be between Russia and Spain, with Argentina and Serbia pushing those two for the 2 A final slots tomorrow.
Proprio così non sarà facile riuscire ad andare a comporre la finale, mancano ancora 2 pass per completare il gruppo dei 6, i magnifici 6 che poi dovranno andare a contendersi la medaglia d'oro di questa Coppa del Mondo varesina, ed è proprio così che prende il via questa regata. Come dicevamo, al centro del percorso favorito l'equipaggio della Russia, ma attenzione anche al Sud Africa, rimasto fuori e già campione in carica proprio in questa specialità con la medaglia, ricordiamo, in occasione delle Olimpiadi di Londra, ma in modo particolare da segnalare un qualcosa di storico. L'Australia lo scorso anno durante la Coppa del Mondo fu leader di specialità e oggi grande assente in questa competizione mondiale. Bene, al passaggio ai primi 500 metri, come vi dicevo, sono proprio i colori del Sudafrica davanti alla Russia. Ricordiamo, solo i primi 2 passano il turno e vanno in finale A.
Looks like South Africa may have the slight lead over Russia 1 and then Spain, but let's get a more accurate picture from out on the water and France.
The South African 4 is making a move in the first part of the race, stroked by Jake Green and Vincent Breed, Jonathan Smith and David Hunt making up this crew. Usually South Africa races in particular in pairs, so like the Coxless pair, of which South Africa has a great tradition. You might remember the pair of Czech and Di Clementi, which raced in part of the 90s and most of the noughties, and they had done a great job. Now moving into the 4 for the Olympic season, and they do look set to qualify their boat for the final A. They are together with Russia in front of the field. Russia and South Africa virtually level crossing the 1,000 meters, and then they have about a length and a half lead over Serbia, Argentina, Spain, and then a bit further back it's the second crew of Italy.
Un pelo avanti il Sudafrica sulla Russia al passaggio dei primi 1000 metri, in terza posizione la Serbia, poi a lottare per la quarta la Spagna e l'Argentina, anzi una Spagna che ora si sta portando con grande determinazione sulla Serbia. Gli azzurri Capuano, Liuzzi, Parlato e Tranquilli stanno lottando, sono ora in sesta posizione ma non demordono, vogliono arrivare al traguardo dopo aver dato fondo a tutte le loro energie.
And based on past results, one would expect a fast showing from Russia. These 4 rowers, Sarutsky, Kuznetsov, Balandin and Kuleshov, raced in the men's 8 last season and also in the season before that. The Russian sweep program has really made strides in the last couple of years. Now racing here in the men's 4, but they have to watch out to at least qualify for the final A, because those are the tough laws of rowing. If you want to go for the medals, you at least need to be in the final A. South Africa, meanwhile, still aggressively holding on there, stroking quite at a high rate, but it's working very well for them, Sebastian.
Yes, absolutely. They're level at this point with the Russians. Each crew's looking over to each other. What can we do? And then the bowman of South Africa, David Hunt, experienced rower already, only 25 years, but a good experience looking over and shouting at his crew, and off they go. Usually after 1500 meters, you open up the final sprint of 60 strokes with a power 10 to get the boat speed up. But the boat's already very fast because the tailwind speeds them up a little bit here. Russia, second place still. Then it's Serbia and Spain level for third. But the first 2 are well clear. So it's going to be very, very hard for Serbia, Argentina or Spain to close in on the leading 2 crews. And Italy too is trading the field a little bit here. So 200 meters left in this race is South Africa and it's Russia level for first place.
Siamo oramai agli ultimi 250 metri di gara, vediamo l'attacco deciso del Sud Africa che cerca di rientrare pericolosamente sulla Russia. Sono queste le prime 2 posizioni per riuscire a centrare la finalissima, quella che domani andrà ad assegnare le medaglie, che ricordiamo verrà anche trasmessa in Mondovisione. Attacco ancora in acqua numero 1 da parte dell'equipaggio del Sudafrica, ma è più pulito il colpo in acqua per l'equipaggio della Russia. Una volata meravigliosa, Russia e Sudafrica negli ultimi 50 metri.
Well, this is quite a turn up for the book. South Africa really have worked hard to take this one, but it is Russia who take first place. South Africa takes second place, and they are through to the A final of the men's 4. Spain bow their heads. They missed out on what was a great chance for them. And the other crews as well, very disappointed not to have made more of that one. But it's Russia and South Africa who go through, along with the Netherlands, Canada, USA and Italy 1.
In chiusura abbiamo la conferma, vittoria della Russia, come vi dicevo equipaggio più pulito, il colpo in acqua. In seconda posizione è il Sud Africa. Queste le 2 imbarcazioni, 2-4 senza maschili che passano il turno e ci danno l'arrivederci alla finalissima di domani. Ma ora è tempo di guardare avanti, la prossima gara è già sulla via.
Set it up. We now move on to the semi-finals of the women's single sculls.
Ci spostiamo ora alla semifinale del singolo femminile.
In lane 1, Tatiana Kuchta, Belarus 2. Lane 2, Elza Gulba, Latvia. Lane 3, Carling Zeman, Canada. Lane 4, Sanita Pushpura, Ireland. Lane 5, Anna Malvina Svenung, Sweden 1. And lane 6, Natalia Dovgodko, Ukraine 1.
Una carrellata su tutte le corsie di questa prima semifinale del singolo femminile. In acqua 1 Bielorussia 2, in acqua 2 la Lettonia, in acqua 3 il Canada, 4 Irlanda, Svezia 5, Ucraina 1, in acqua 6.
So Zeman of Canada and Pushpuri of Ireland, winners of their respective heats, which means they didn't have to go through the repechage to reach this semi-final. All the other crews lining up here did have to do that. A couple of crews in the second semi-final as well, obviously, which would be Denmark and Belarus won. They came straight through. So Canada and Ireland in the central lanes must be favourites to take 2 of these A final spots. 3 up for grabs here. And it's all to play for a final spot in the women's single sculls.
La specialità del singolo femminile ancora una volta permetterà di vedere da vicino quelle che saranno le doti singole e le capacità per aver costruito una lunga preparazione sicuramente a livello invernale, ma poi soprattutto una componentistica di tanti piccoli fattori che messi insieme ti portano ad essere un singolista capace di occupare la scena internazionale. In questa specialità, come dicevamo, abbiamo la crème del canottaggio rosa e anche qui solo le prime 3 passeranno il turno per accedere alla finale. Poi di domani è partita molto forte l'irlandese Sanita Puspure, che cercherà ovviamente di arrivare davanti anche sul traguardo, ma attenzione all'Ucraina, e mi va di segnalare anche Carling Zeman, atleta del Canada, protagonista già a livello internazionale in Italia al Memorial Paolo Daloia, e che qui potrebbe cercare di andare a centrare un altro obiettivo per la finale A. Quindi attenzione a queste 3. Irlanda, Ucraina e Canada nella prima semifinale del singolo femminile.
Yes, at the moment in contention for those 3 A final spots, Pushpure of Ireland, Dovgodko of Ukraine 1, Zeman of Canada. Let's get the latest from France.
Approaching 1,000 meters, it's Sanita Puspure with an early showing. Natalia Dovgodko over here in lane 6 is also a very close Olympic champion from London 2012 in the women's quad. And over at the far side, it's Tatiana Kuchta, who's also having a great race here from Belarus. It's Puspure in 1, about a length up on Dovgodko, and then it's Kuchta with a slight lead over a canvas more than not over Carling Zeman of Canada.
Nella prima semifinale del singolo femminile, in acqua 4 spinge Sanita Puspor, l'irlandese, che sta conducendo davanti alla Ucraina Dovgodko in acqua numero 6. Attenzione però anche alla canadese Carling Zeman in terza posizione, ma soprattutto a Tatiana Kuchta, anche lei bielorussa come la Dovgodko, che è in acqua 1, quindi una lotta a 3 per le 2 posizioni rimanenti, perché la prima sembra essere saldamente in mano alla Puspor.
And here's also where you see a difference between rowers who've been in the single scull consistently over the last couple of years and rowers who've been also competing in team boats. For instance, Zeman competed in the Canadian women's quad in 3 seasons and the 2014 season, and also Tatiana Kuchta has been moving back and forth into double quad of the Belarusian Rowing Federation, whereas Sanita Puspure of Ireland has been in the single, and especially now that we have a slightly stronger wind, slightly more ripples on the course, this is where the hours and hours spent in singles really count, Sebastian.
So, still the green and white colors of Ireland show brightly here on the lake, on the waters of Lake Varès. Sanita Puspure holding on to her lead and even building on it. But behind her, a trio is chasing her. So it's nearly level between Kuchta for Belarus, Zeman for Canada, and also Dovgotka of Ukraine closing in now. So 60 strokes left in this race, the last quarter opening up, and it's all in it for four scullers, just three final A places to be had in the semi-final here. So it's Svenung of Sweden and also the Latvian sculler Gulba, who find the pace set by the leading scullers here a little bit too high, the pace set a little bit too high. Then we have Puspure of Ireland still holding on to that lead. She ups the rate there because there's another challenge coming from Dovgotko of Ukraine closing in on Zeman and on Kuchta. Probably Kuchta is more under pressure now than Zeman. So this is classic single sculling. You have to judge every stroke of the 220 strokes just right and conserve your energy but not let the others go too far. So this is tactics, this is mind power here, and Puspure of Ireland is doing that beautifully. She's leading Zeman of Canada, Dovgotko of Ukraine and Kuchta of Belarus at the moment.
Una bellissima gara quella messa in scena per l'irlandese Sanita Puspure, che ha dimostrato di essere in grado di dominare fin dal primo colpo in questa specialità del singolo. All'esterno benissimo il Canada, Carlin Zeman, che si trova molto bene in Italia, dobbiamo dire, e dobbiamo ammetterlo, perché appunto i frutti sono qui sotto gli occhi di tutti. Ma attenzione a Bielorussia 2 che in questo momento si porta pericolosamente sotto, come anche Ucraina 1 in acqua 6 per l'assalto alla terza posizione. Ricordiamo solo le prime tre posizioni per il passaggio del turno. Continua la corsa dell'Irlanda, attacca il Canada all'esterno, risponde la Bielorussia. Queste le prime tre posizioni per andare a completare il passaggio del turno e l'accesso in semifinale.
Coming up to line, it's a close one for first and second. It'll be Ireland, Sanita Puspure taking first place. Second place, Belarus 2, that's Kuchta. And in third place, it is Canada's Carling Zeman. So those are the three crews through to the A final. Sanita Puspure of Ireland taking first place in a time of 7:27.86. And that is a great result for these crews with Kuchta of Belarus 2 and Carling Zeman of Canada. They are through to the A final.
Queste le sorti sul traguardo, vittoria dell'Irlanda su Bielorussia 2 Canada, le tre singoliste che passano il turno e vanno in finale.
Okay, they're well on the way. Second semi-final of the women's singles sculls, with the last three places in tomorrow's final to be claimed. Zimbabwe 1, McKean Thornycroft, she's in lane 1. In lane 2, Duan Jingli of China. Lane 3 for Denmark, Fie Udby Eriksson. Lane 4, Belarus 1, Ekaterina Karsten. Lane 5 for Switzerland, Janine Gemelin. And in lane 6, representing Austria, Magdalena Lobnig.
La seconda semifinale del singolo femminile oramai è già al passaggio, primi 500 metri in acqua 1, Zimbabwe in acqua 2, abbiamo l'equipaggio della Cina in acqua 3, la Danimarca in acqua 4, Bielorussia 1 in acqua 5, Svizzera in acqua 6, l'Austria favorita sicuramente la Danimarca, ma attenzione anche a Svizzera e Bielorussia che potrebbero veramente vendere cara la pelle in questo secondo del singolo.
Well, this semi-final really is full of quality. Not much to separate these crews through 500 meters. And let's get the latest from France.
Closely packed field at 500 meters, and Yekaterina Karsten-Cholotovic of Belarus in lane 4 is, I think, the woman to beat in this particular semi-final. But watch out for Janine Gmelin of Switzerland. Last year, she was, well, the revelation of the women's single scull event when she had great results at both the European Championship and later on also in the World Championship. She was in the final there. So a young and, well, upcoming talent from Switzerland Switzerland. Meanwhile, back on the comeback course is Fie Udby Eriksson of Denmark. Last year didn't see her achieve the results that she was used to achieve when she took a silver medal in London 2012. But, well, that's all in the past. Let's look at the present now. And here we see the crews lining up towards 1,000 meters. Still not much between the crews. All crews as though they're just waiting for one of them to make a move, because all 6 crews within striking distance, within overlap of each other. So no clear leader at the 1,000 meters. It looked as though Gmelin might have had her boat in front, but just by a little.
Non abbiamo alcuna certezza nella seconda semifinale del singolo femminile, perché ci sono 5 imbarcazioni veramente vicinissime ai 1000 metri. Il passaggio della Svizzera Janine Gmelin assieme alla cinese Jingli Duan, ma anche Fie Eriksen dalla Danimarca e soprattutto la leggendaria Katerina Karsten dalla Bielorussia sono in lotta per uno dei 3 posti che varrà l'accesso alla finale. Un po' più indietro si stanno staccando dal gruppo e Miken Thornycroft dallo Zimbabwe e Magdalena Lobnik dall'Austria.
And the first cracks begin to appear in the edifice of the 6 women who are storming to the finish line. We see Machine Thornycroft of Zimbabwe struggling in lane 1 to keep up with the pace. Magdalena Lobnik, meanwhile, on the other side of the course in lane 6, she held out Mirka Knapkova out of the semi-finals, so she does have a lot of speed in her. Former under-23 world champion in the double, and she looks to pull level with the field now. Still at the front of the field, it's Gmelin of Switzerland, Karsten of Belarus, and Eriksson of Denmark, with Duan of China not too far behind. So, well, Sebastian, a lot of stuff can still happen at this stage.
Yes, yes, absolutely. We're in the single scull, so you can really accelerate your boat over 20-30 strokes, even if you're 1.5 lengths down. But now it's Duan Jingli of China who tries to take charge of this race. With her goes Karsten, with her goes Gmelin of Switzerland. These 3 boats nearly level, separated by a bow numbers width as they come through the 1500 meter mark, and Eriksen of Denmark has to do something here because she's losing stroke by stroke a little bit on the Chinese in 3rd position, sitting in the 4th place. The Danish now, Danish Olympic silver medalist, as you said, Franz, she's closing in again on the Chinese. So 4 boats within contention, and let's not count out Magdalena Lobnik, also a fine single sculler, 9th last year at the world level. She's closing in on the Danish sculler as well. What a great semi-final this is, the semi-final number 2 of the women's single scull. Over to you, Luca.
Ed eccoci intanto in chiusura ancora una volta, sempre la specialità del singolo femminile che torna a casa, e dopo aver seguito il passaggio del turno della prima dalla torre d'arrivo è il momento di raccontarvi le gesta di queste ragazze fino in fondo. E allora lì, al centro del percorso, dopo quella partenza che le ha permesso di portarsi davanti, è scivolata in seconda posizione. Stiamo parlando dell'atleta svizzera che insieme alla Bielorussia in acqua 4 stanno cercando di andare ad acciuffare le prime 2 posizioni valevoli per il passaggio del turno e l'accesso in finale A. Per la terza posizione invece attacco ancora all'esterno dell'atleta cinese che cerca di portarsi pericolosamente sotto per la terza posizione, ed è così che in queste ultime battute attacca la Bielorussia, risponde molto bene la Cina con la Svizzera per le prime 3 posizioni valevoli per il passaggio in finale. Sul traguardo una splendida Ekaterina Karsten riesce a dominare ancora qui a Varese.
Well, this is a really close finish, and it goes the way of Ekaterina Karsten of Belarus 1, Janine Gmelin of Switzerland in 2nd place. It looked to me like Duan Jingli of China took 3rd. We will await confirmation of that, but 7 minutes 29.1 the winning time for Karsten. And Janine Gmelin of Switzerland coming home just 0.83 of a second behind, and then it is Duan Jingli of China. So it will be Belarus 1, Switzerland and China who join Ireland, Belarus 2 and Canada in the final of the women's single sculls.
Ed è così che possiamo andare a confermarvelo: vittoria della Bielorussia su Svizzera e Cina. Queste le 3 singoliste che vanno ad aggiungersi e a completare il cerchio della finale A singolo femminile.
We now move on to the final semi-finals, I beg your pardon, of the men's single sculls.
Ci spostiamo ora alla semifinale del singolo maschile.
In lane 1 for Argentina, Brian Rosso. In lane 2, Poland 1, Natan Wagashitsky-Szymczyk. In lane 3, Croatia, Damian Martin. In lane 4, the Netherlands, Stefan Brunink. In lane 5, Israel, Danny Fridman. Lane 6, Slovenia, Gasper Fitzrovec.
Solo i primi tre in finale A anche in questa semifinale. In acqua 1 Argentina, in acqua 2 Polonia 1, in acqua 3 Croazia, in acqua 4 Olanda, in acqua 5 Israele e in acqua 6 la Slovenia.
Not a huge amount to separate these crews at 500 metres, except to say that the Netherlands' Stefan Brunink is the one sculler here who is just a little bit off the pace. Perhaps that's to be expected, but it's Poland's Wojcicki-Szymczyk out in the lead ahead of Brian Rosso of Argentina, then Damian Martin of Croatia. Gasper Fitzrovec not far behind, and then Danny Fridman. It could be anybody's race here, really, as they approach 800 metres and France.
All eyes, of course, on Damian Martin of Croatia, part of the Croatian men's quad, which saw so many successes. Together with the brother Sinkovic, who will be competing in the double, and David Sain, they dominated the scene for a number of years. They did not achieve the gold medal in London 2012. That went to the German quad, but they were dominant in their days. And, well, this is actually where it all started for Martin in Varese in the single, because normally he was competing in the quad, but for the European Championships in 2012, the Sinkovic switched to the double. They took a gold there, and Martin switched to the single, where he took a silver. And now he is moving his boat ahead, and he is doing very well. But meanwhile, 1,000 meters gone. It's, well, the 1 and 2 is clear, but then 3 is a bit difficult to say. It's Wojcicki-Szymczyk of Poland who was in first, Martin of Croatia was in second, and then level pegging between Fridman and Rosso for third. Frisovic was fifth, and then Brunink in sixth.
Ti aspetti il croato Damir Martin passare qui sotto la nostra postazione ai 1000 metri e invece no. E invece ecco il polacco Natan Wagashitsky-Szymczyk, nemmeno un anno di esercizio mi consentirebbe di pronunciare nella maniera corretta questo nome, il giovane polacco 21enne che passa in testa davanti appunto al croato Damir Martin per la terza posizione. Grande bagarre, ben posizionato, vediamo in acqua 5 l'israeliano Danny Fridman, ma attenzione anche all'argentino Brian Rosso.
And the Polish sculler Natan Wagashitsky-Szymczyk, well, he has corrected yesterday's events when in the heats he was surprised by Stef Brunink, the young and inexperienced Dutch sculler. He's a very strong guy, but he has not had the sculling experience as Wagashitsky-Szymczyk has. The Polish sculler rows in a sweep boat nowadays at University of California, Berkeley, so he's just on his way here for Varese for a one-week trip to compete here, and he's doing very well indeed. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, still Damian Martin in contention for a spot in the A final, but then again the field, well, doesn't look as though it's opening up. It rather looks, Sebastian, as if the field is closing on one another.
Yes, especially with the first two position, because it's just a meter between Martin in the lead and Wagashitsky-Szymczyk in second place. There were some shouts here from the coaches on the bank to the young man from Poland, the biggest talent we've seen for a number of years coming from Poland, former junior world champion as well. And he's challenging Damian Martin quite a bit here, but I think Damian Martin now plays out his superior power and endurance and moves away a little bit after 1,500 meters. But who's going to come third? That's the question here, and that's all open between the Argentinian Brian Rosso and the Israeli sculler Danny Fridman, who's putting up a really fine show here, a really fine competition, and is challenging the Argentinian for the third place here. 250 meters to go, and it's Martin of Croatia sitting on top of this race now, clearly ahead of Wagashitsky-Szymczyk of Poland, and then it's level between Rosso of Argentina and Fridman of Israel.
Ed eccoci negli ultimi 250 metri quando il fuoco inizia a bruciare con Damir Martin lì davanti con i colori della Croazia, poi la Polonia e Danny Friedman, atleta di Israele, in terza posizione che potrebbe centrare la finale dei big, ma attenzione agli attacchi di Brian Rosso dell'Argentina che in questo momento si porta pericolosamente sotto su Danny Friedman, atleta israeliano che cerca comunque di reagire con potenza ed aggressività in acqua. Siamo in chiusura, l'Argentina si arrende ed è così che Danny Friedman riesce a passare il turno e la finale dei big.
Well, Damir Martin crosses the line in first place. It's a two-length lead for him. And second place goes to Poland's Varès-Szymczyk. And the third qualification spot for the A final is Israel's Danny Friedman. Great performance from Damir Martin, as you would expect. A 4-second gap between him and second place Varès-Szymczyk of Poland, and then Danny Friedman in third. They're through to the A final of the men's single sculls.
Damir Martin, atleta della Croazia, poi la Polonia e Israele per il passaggio del turno, l'accesso alla finale A di domani. Queste le sorti in chiusura, sono questi i tre singolisti che centrano la finale e che ci lanciano già alla seconda semifinale del nostro programma, sempre del singolo maschile.
Second semi-final of the men's single sculls is underway with Poland 2 in lane 1. That's Adam Wycięciak. In lane 2 representing Finland, Robert Venn. Lane 3 for Belgium, Hannes Obreno. In lane 4 representing Cuba, Angel Fournier Rodriguez. In lane 5, Belarus, Stanislaw Shabrachenya. And in lane 6, Switzerland 3, Marcus Kessler.
Nella seconda semifinale del singolo maschile abbiamo Polonia in acqua 1, Finlandia in acqua 2, in acqua 3 il Belgio, in acqua 4 Cuba, in acqua 5 la Bielorussia, in acqua 6 la Svizzera. Un'altra storia tutta da raccontare con i primi tre che riusciranno a passare il turno.
Well, the crew is just approaching the 500-meter split time. It's Angel Fournier Rodriguez just ahead of Hannes Obreno of Belgium. Very little in it, though. Adam Wycięciak of Poland 2 is in third, with Robert Venn pretty much alongside him, and Marcus Kessler, virtual straight line. Shabrachenya of Belarus, a little bit off the pace at this stage, but nothing to worry about with just 600 meters gone and approaching Franz. From your viewpoint, this could be another really good fight.
It might just be the case, Rob. Indeed, Fournier Rodriguez of Cuba with an early lead here. The big, powerful Cuban. Well, this men's single sculls, that is the big men's event. But it is the big men's event for big men who are able to control their boat, and that is also important. For those of you new to rowing, it looks also easy. It just looks at moving forward and backward, putting a blade in the water and getting it out again. But it is so difficult to be able to have your boat move so fluidly, so smoothly, and in such a balanced way. And that is exactly what Fournier Rodriguez is able to do. He is a very powerful guy, but he's able to apply that power and translate it into boat speed. It's working well for him. He's in qualifying position, as is Hannes Obreno of Belgium, and moving with him is Robert Venn of Finland. But then again, still too early to call this race. We'll have to see how it develops in the last part of the race, but a clear lead at this stage, approaching the 1,000 meters for Fournier Rodriguez. Robert Venn of Finland, also a very big guy. He had two tough races yesterday when he just lost out in the heats, then had to go through a repechage, but he appears to have recovered. He's moving through in second, and then in third it's Hannes Obreno of Belgium.
La corsia 4 la sta percorrendo come un'autostrada il cubano Angel Fournier Rodriguez, che è in testa alla semifinale numero 2 del singolo maschile. Attenzione però in acqua 2 al finlandese Robert Venn, si propone molto bene. In acqua 3 invece al terzo posto il belga Hannes Obreno. Questi i qualificati, virtualmente qualificati, quando ci avviciniamo al riferimento dei 1250 metri. Spinge in acqua 6 anche lo svizzero Markus Kessler, non vuole abbandonare la scena. In acqua 1 il polacco Wichensiak è quinto, ma là davanti c'è sempre lui, Ángel Fournier Rodríguez da Cuba.
And as the crews are approaching the 1500 meter mark through the 1250 mark now, it is a great race lining up for you, because we have a number of athletes here who are famous for their sprints. Hannes Obreno of Belgium used that sprint yesterday to push through in the heat racing, and he narrowly beat out Stanislav Charbachenya of Belarus, formerly a rower in the sweep selection. He rode in the men's 4 in the London 2012 Olympics, switched to single sculling afterwards, and he has been a regular finalist in World Cup and World Championship events in this particular boat class. He knows how to move his boat, but he will have to make sure to put himself into final contention again, and for that he will have to face off the big guy from Finland, Robert Venn. All the way though, it's still going Fournier Rodríguez's way. Sebastian, how are things looking over at your end?
Well, the boats come through 1500 right at this moment, and Fournier Rodríguez leads by a length and half a meter of open water over Finn of Finland and Obrena of Belgium, both level. Then it's a length down only for the second Polish sculler in this competition, whereas Charbachenya for Belarus struggles a little bit to close in, but it's still for all 6 athletes who could qualify for the A final here. What a race here to watch on Lake Varès, and it's a good one to commentate on as well. Fournier Rodríguez, he sits there stable as a stone. Really good composure here in the boat, and Obreno ups the rate to 38 strokes a minute in second place now, just ahead of Finn of Finland. But the Finnish sculler sees the challenge thrown at him from Charbachenya of Belarus on lane 5. That's the second lane from the bank. So here it is, the semi-final number 2 of the men's single scull, and it's Cuba in the lead.
Ed è Cuba ancora davanti, l'atleta che lo scorso anno fu tesserato per la canottieri Lario e passò gran parte del tempo della sua preparazione in Italia al centro remiero di Pusiano. Qui sul traguardo è sempre lui, Ángel Fournier Rodríguez, che continua la corsa per andare ad accaparrarsi davanti a Robert Venn, atleta finlandese, questa vittoria. Allora per le prime 3 posizioni rientra anche Hannes Obreno, atleta in rappresentanza del Belgio, ma attenzione agli attacchi decisi anche della Polonia. Sul traguardo è sempre lui, il cubano davanti.
Well, Ángel Fournier Rodríguez takes the win, and great celebrations as well for second place, and that's Hannes Obreno of Belgium. He's absolutely delighted. Sorry, that was Finland's Robert Venn, absolutely delighted with that. Hannes Obreno of Belgium taking that third spot. 6:51.95 is the winning time for Ángel Fournier Rodríguez of Cuba. So those 3, Fournier Rodríguez of Cuba, Venn of Finland, Obreno of Belgium will join Damian Martin of Croatia, Wojciech Szymczyk of Poland 1, and Danny Fridman of Israel in the final of the men's single sculls.
Ed è proprio così che sul traguardo possiamo andare a confermare questo arrivo vittoria con 6:51.95 per Ángel Fournier Rodríguez. Al secondo posto Robert Venn, Finlandia, al terzo posto il Belgio.
Next up, it's the semi-finals of the lightweight women's double sculls.
La prossima semifinale del nostro programma è la semifinale del doppio pesi leggeri femminile.
Just getting underway in this first semi-final then, with Poland in lane 1, Netherlands 1 in lane 2. In lane 3, it's Switzerland. Lane 4, China 1. Lane 5, Great Britain. Lane 6, Italy 2.
In acqua 1 la Polonia, in acqua 2 Olanda 1, in acqua 3 la Svizzera, in acqua 4 Cina 1, in acqua 5 Gran Bretagna, in acqua 6 Italia 2, Giulia Pollini, Valentina Rodini.
So in the early stages, just a slight lead there for China 1 in lane 4. That's Huang Wenyi and Pan Fei Hong. Just to note also to let you know, Italy 2 yellow carded for a late arrival at the start, but that shouldn't cause them any problems from here on in as they get to 400 metres. Still just a slight edge for China 1 in lane 4.
In questo momento è partita proprio la prima semifinale e come avete potuto sentire yellow card per l'equipaggio italiano di Giulia Pollini e Valentina Rodini. Veramente un peccato, questo equipaggio azzurro è arrivato in ritardo in partenza. Intanto al passaggio ai 500 metri una Cina scoppiettante che dimostra di avere una marcia in più. Al secondo posto la Polonia, terza è la Gran Bretagna, l'Italia è ultima al passaggio ai 500 metri.
500 meter split shows almost a 2-second gap between the leading crew, China 1 and Poland in second place. Great Britain right alongside them. Netherlands 1 not far behind. Then Switzerland alongside Netherlands 1. Italy 2 late at the start and a little late to get to the 500 meter mark too. But they're only 3 seconds in total behind the leaders. And that's China 1. Franz, over to you.
Yes, we see the crews approaching here, the 750 meter mark, and it is China, the crew that was already dominant in the heats, which is also looking, well, fairly dominant in this semi-final. I say fairly because they have not yet established a definitive lead over any of the crews. The GB crew, well, in terms of how we got here, this is not the Olympic boat, but this is the GB squad boat of Eleanor Pidgeot and Emily Craig. They are moving very well together with the field. Over on the far side, we have Poland still in it, and then there's the Dutch, Lisa Werner and Ilse Paulus. Paulus was supposed to race with her 2015 World Championship partner Maike Hatt, but due to injury, Lisa Werner now subbing in. Both girls are former world champions in the lightweight women's quad, and if memory serves me, they're also still the world best time holders in those events, so they know how to scull, and they are moving with the field now. In front is still China, then Italy too, making a move here. Had also Great Britain moving with them, the Netherlands, Switzerland, and it's only Poland which is dropping off just a bit.
Hanno rimediato un cartellino giallo, ma faranno di tutto per estrarre il rosso all'indirizzo delle altre avversarie. Giulia Pollini e Valentina Rodini stanno compiendo veramente una grande rimonta. Abbiamo sentito che erano seste dopo i primi 500 metri. Qui ai 1000 sotto la nostra postazione sono passate seconde alle spalle delle cinesi Wang e Pan, quindi mettendosi dietro le polacche Deres e Mikolav, gli olandesi Ronner e Polis, le svizzere Rolle Merz e le inglesi Pigott e Craig, che sono molto vicine. Buonissima gara da parte di Giulia Pollini e Valentina Rodini, il primo dei due equipaggi femminili impegnati nel doppio pesi leggeri.
And as you will have gathered from my colleagues Marco Colai's comments, Italy is doing fairly well in this race, and it is indeed Italy too, with a gutsy row there. Pollini and Rodini moving with the field. Rob, in the first part of the race they weren't early to show, but they've made a push after 500 meters to re-establish contact. At the head of the field though, it's still China working its way through, and I would expect also something to happen from the Swiss crew in lane 3. Frédéric Roll and Patricia Merz, they are a very high quality double, and they have sat back in the field about 4th-5th position. They have to challenge for at least 3rd in order to get into the final A. Sebastian, what's the order at your point of view?
Well, still Huang and Pan for China in the lead, 1.5 lengths up on the Dutch crew. But then there's two crews just a canvas down on the Dutch. That's the Italians in 3rd place, gathering speed at this moment. Then it's Great Britain, Pickett and Craig for Great Britain here in 4th position, just half length down on the Italians. So the young Swiss combination of Roll and Merz, a bronze medalist last year at the under-23 event, they lose ground at this moment. They lack a little bit of speed here at this point. The Polish combination closing in on the Dutch as well. So there's, I think, still 5 crews within contention of the 3 final A places from this semi-final number 1 in the women's double sculls, with China clearly in the lead.
Giulia Pollini, facci sognare Ale Valentina Rodini. Questi i nomi delle due guerriere azzurre che in questo momento potrebbero riuscire a regalarci una gioia meravigliosa centrando la finale A nel doppio pesi leggeri, e qui sì che sarebbe una grande battaglia con l'altro equipaggio azzurro che deve ancora gareggiare se riuscisse a centrare la finale. In questo momento la Cina continua a dominare per la seconda posizione, invece c'è l'Olanda, poi l'Italia ancora, che qui in acqua numero 6 vicino alle tribune sente la tifoseria. All'esterno attacca molto bene la Gran Bretagna, siamo in chiusura, sono tutte sulla stessa linea con l'Italia leggermente attardata in questo momento. La Cina davanti ancora per la seconda e terza posizione, un gioco tutto aperto.
It's going to be China who crossed the line in first place, ahead of Netherlands 1 and then Poland. A real push from Italy 2 and Great Britain, but all a little bit late. But what a performance from Italy 2, having started so slowly. They then pushed all the way through to second place, but they couldn't hold it up. And unfortunately, they miss out on a final spot. It's China 1 in first place, Netherlands 1 take second place. Just awaiting confirmation, yes indeed. Poland are third.
Veramente un peccato, fuori per meno di 2 decimi di secondo. Questo è il verdetto finale. Vittoria per la Cina, al secondo posto c'è l'Olanda, al terzo posto la Polonia, quarta l'Italia.
Second semi-final. So the second semi-final, passing through 500 metres. Another chance for Italy to shine here. They're in lane 2, Italy 1. That's Laura Milani and Elisabetta Sancassani. Alongside them in lane 1 is Sweden. In lane 3, it's China 2. Lane 4, though, very strong crew from South Africa. World Championship bronze medalists who've qualified for the Olympics have Canada alongside them in lane 5. Lindsay Jenrick and Patricia Obi. And in lane 6, it's Russia.
Dalla prima alla seconda la seconda semifinale del doppio pesi leggeri femminile. In acqua 1 la Svezia, in acqua 2 Italia 1 Milani e Sancassani, in acqua 3 Cina 2, in acqua 4 Sudafrica, 5 il Canada, 6 la Russia.
Well, I suppose if you're looking for a race within a race, Franz, to see how South Africa and Canada perform against each other is going to be intriguing.
It certainly is, Rob. The bronze medalists from last year, Ursula Grobler and Kirsten McCann of South Africa, squaring off against Canada, Lindsay Jenrick and Patricia Obi, the fourth place finishers at the London 2012 Olympics, coming together again for this season for yet another Olympic campaign and hopefully another Olympic run for the medals. However, keep an eye out for the Italian crew, Laura Milani and Elisabetta Sancassani. The former world champions, former European champions, came together in this boat right after the London 2012 Olympics, have had success. Last year didn't work out for them as well, but here they are right at the front of the field because approaching 1,000 meters, it's South Africa in the lead, China too still also with them, but in third position it is Italy.
Ancora Italia con Laura Milani e Elisabetta Sancassani, campionesse mondiali nel 2013, sono quarte in questo momento, ma è una gara molto equilibrata con le sudafricane McCann e Grobler in testa davanti alle cinesi Pan e Wang. Il primo obiettivo nel mirino dell'Italia sono le canadesi Jenrick e Obi, ma attenzione anche alle russe Zukova e Lebedeva che sono quinte, ma ancora assolutamente alla possibilità di qualificarsi alla finale. Laura Milani, Elisabetta Sancassani stanno cercando di fare il massimo per raggiungere la finale.
And it looks as though the Chinese selectors will have some tough choices ahead of them because we saw China 1 performing really well and this China 2 crew isn't all that slower. Well, of course, I do not know the time, so we'll be able to check when the crews have finished, but they are in contention for a final place. So, Sebastian, could it be that we have 2 Chinese crews in tomorrow's final?
Well, it looks it could go that way because the Chinese are picking up speed compared to the other crews, especially compared to the Italians, who seem to be slowing down a little bit. But once again, they pick up the speed and try to close the gap. 3 crews nearly level for first place. That's China, that's South Africa, and it's also the Canadians who look strong. A former world champion from 2010 already, Lindsay Jenrick on the bow position, teaming up with strong Patricia Obi, who also rode the under 23 single for a number of years for her country. So it's China and South Africa nearly level in the lead. Half a length down sit the Canadians. Another canvas down, it's Sancasani and Milani for Italy. So they can do it, but they have to do something very special on the last 60 strokes remaining in this race here. Russia down 2 lengths, and another 2 lengths down is the Swedish combination with Annie Svensson replacing Cecilia Lilia on the bow position, teaming up with Emma Fred. So the Swedish are not within contention at the moment. China on top of this race together with South Africa. Then it's Canada closing in. What's the quality of Milani and Sankasani today? That's going to be determined on the next 35 strokes, because that's what's left in this race. 300 meters to go. It's South Africa and China level still for first place. Canada closing in, 3 crews level. 2 lengths down, it's now Italy in 4th place. Luca, what's your point of view there?
35 palate, qual è il livello del doppio italiano? Ci saluta così Sebastian Frank dal catamarano per l'ultimo blocco di commento, e io abbocco qui dalla torre per andare a accompagnare le azzurre, che in questo momento devono dimostrare di valere almeno il 3° posto per passare nella finale dei big. Sarebbe veramente un peccato che anche questo equipaggio azzurro rimanesse fuori dai giochi nella finale A, e allora attacca l'Italia per cercare di andare ad avvicinare e ridurre il gap con Laura Milani ed Elisabetta Sancassani, ma lì davanti c'è ancora l'accoppiata dalla Cina, poi il Sud Africa ed il Canada. Oramai queste 3 imbarcazioni hanno preso il volo, l'Italia è quarta, non cambia più nulla, ed è così in chiusura la vittoria della Cina sul Sud Africa e Canada.
Well, it's a terrific victory from China too, from Pan Dandan and Wang Miao. And they take first place ahead of South Africa and then Canada in 3rd place. That's a very notable victory indeed. So China 2, South Africa, Canada qualify. They'll be joined in the final by China 1, Netherlands 1 and Poland. Very sad to say Milani and Sankasani couldn't quite do it. There will be no Italian participation in the final of the lightweight women's double sculls. There will be in the B final, eh?
Ne avremo addirittura 2 per rispondere alla domanda di Rob, addirittura 2 nella finale B del doppio pesi leggeri femminile, 2 equipaggi azzurri in finale B. Purtroppo nessuno nella finale A. In acqua per la finale A, la vittoria alla Cina sul Sudafrica e il Canada.
Next, it's the semi-finals of the lightweight men's double sculls.
La prossima è la semifinale del doppio pesi leggeri maschile.
Lining up in lane 1, Chile. In lane 2, Great Britain. In lane 3, it's the reigning Olympic champions, Denmark. In lane 4, it's the 2014 world champion, South Africa. In lane 5, Spain. Lane 6, Turkey.
In acqua 1 la Cina, in acqua 2 Gran Bretagna, in acqua 3 la Danimarca, acqua 4 ancora Sud Africa, in acqua 5 la Spagna, in acqua 6 la Turchia. Questi i 6 equipaggi a darsi battaglia nel doppio leggero maschile.
Well, there's certainly some quality around in this race, not least in lanes 3 and 4 with Denmark and South Africa. But look out for Great Britain as well in lane 2. It's South Africa, Denmark and Turkey with those qualification spots at the moment. Spain very close, though, along with them. Great Britain not far behind. Chile bringing up the rear. That's at 500 metres. But they're already approaching 750 and well within the range of France.
That's right, Rob. We're looking at a bunch of Olympic champions divided over two boats. We have Denmark in lane 3, Rasmussen and Quist. They were the Olympic champions in the lightweight men's double sculls in London. And then we have the South Africans, James Thompson and John Smith. They were Olympic champions in London as well, but then in the South African lightweight men's 4. And, well, the careers post-London of these two crews have taken a very different trajectory. Smith and Thompson were were moved into the double in 2014 and became instant successes with a world title in Amsterdam, and also in 2015 they demonstrated that they have quite a bit of speed, whereas Rasmussen and Quist both took some time away from the sport, came back together again in 2015, but it didn't work out for them. They raced in Lucerne but chose not to participate in Egg-Ballet, and well, here they are again, but they have to contend with the South Africans, who are in the lead at this stage, followed closely though by Denmark. They're about 3/4 of a length down, and then it's level pegging between Turkey and Spain, with the GB and Chile a bit further back.
Abbiamo 4 campioni olimpici a centrocampo. I più brillanti in questo momento sono James Thompson e John Smith del Sudafrica, oro a Londra 2012 nel 4 senza pesi leggeri, ma poi 2 anni dopo campioni mondiali in questa specialità. Rasmussen e Quist, i danesi che detengono il titolo olimpico, sono secondi, ma devono guardarsi con molta attenzione soprattutto dall'attacco degli spagnoli Mitjavila e Conde Romero. Bene anche la Turchia di Kandemir e Cuscu, mentre un po' indietro la Gran Bretagna di Lee Green e Kirkwood.
And keep an eye out for the crews in lanes 5 and 6. That's youthful competition there, especially the Spanish crew, which looks to be very fast indeed. A young combination, and it's working well for them. And in lane 6, stroked by former World Under-23 and junior medalist Enes Kuşku, their Turkish double has also found some speed. So Rasmussen and Quist will have to be careful not to lose their qualifying spot. You can have all the experience in the world, but there will come a day when there's younger guys that are faster than you, Sebastian.
Yes, although I must say I admire Rasmus Quist, because he was able, together with his partner, to up the rate from one stroke to the next for 3 strokes per minute. So they're now on 38, 39 strokes a minute. That gives them, so far, that gives them the advantage. But the young guys, the rookies, are closing in fast. That applies both for the Spanish and also for Kuşku, for Turkey. The Turkish now in 3rd place, Spanish in 4th, but it's just a canvas separating the Danish, the Turkish and the Spanish double sculls, whereas Thompson and Smith are sitting on top of this race with a clear margin of 2.5 lengths, and really good, very good sober blade work done by the South Africans. They are really on top of their game here. South Africa leading, then Denmark now upping the rate another notch to 40 strokes a minute. Rasmus Quist and Mats Rasmussen, they can do it, but the challenge is strong, set by the Turkish on the grandstand side. The Spanish are moving with them, and also the British have something left in their tank. So it's 200 meters to the finish line. South Africa leading this field, the semi-final number 1 of the lightweight men's double sculls.
Grazie Sebastian. In chiusura uno spettacolo meraviglioso, quello di Thompson e Smith, atleti del Sudafrica, già campioni olimpici in 4 senza a Londra, e qui campioni in doppio leggero. Poi attenzione all'interno della Danimarca, un lavoro meraviglioso quello della Turchia, qui in acqua 6 vicino alle tribune. Sono questi i 3 equipaggi che potrebbero passare, ma in questo momento attacca fortissimo anche l'equipaggio della Spagna. Attenzione a queste ultime battute meravigliose, sono in 5 in lotta per le prime 3 posizioni, con il Sudafrica sempre lì davanti.
Well, it's going to be South Africa. They are definitely going to take first place. But the battle for second and third is absolutely phenomenal. And it's a 3-way tie between Turkey, Spain, and Denmark, the Olympic champions. They could even be out of the final, depending on how the timings come up. Great Britain, I'm afraid, off the pace. They miss out. But what a finish. And how impressive were Turkey all the way down the course. Did they hold on to that 3rd spot? South Africa first, Spain second, Turkey have been given 3rd place. They have edged out the Olympic champions Denmark. What an upset. Well done, Turkey. South Africa 1, Spain 2. It's changed. It's changed. I do apologize. Denmark now have been given that third place. It is just a matter of a mere, well, it's not even a hundredth of a second. The timing on the official timing is absolutely identical between Denmark and Turkey. But unofficial result then, South Africa first, Spain second, Denmark third.
Una di quelle gare che ti tolgono il fiato, una di quelle gare che quando le racconti non ci credi nemmeno. Vittoria per Thompson e Smith del Sud Africa. Al secondo posto la Spagna, terzo posto per Danimarca, poi la Turchia, ma a livello cronometrico hanno esattamente lo stesso tempo sul nostro monitor, quindi sarà proprio una questione di millesimi di secondo, visto non solo dal photo finish ma da un'esperta giuria che ringraziamo per il lavoro che stanno facendo fin da ora e nelle giornate precedenti. Questo è il verdetto finale. Passano il turno Sudafrica, Spagna e Danimarca, seppur sul nostro monitor il tempo sia identico.
We'll keep an eye on that for you because that may change again. But for now, South Africa, Spain, Denmark. Identical times between Denmark and Turkey. It will come down to fractions of a thousandth of a second to separate those two. So on to the second semi-final then of the lightweight men's double sculls. Can it live up to the excitement of that one? It's Poland in lane 1, Belgium in lane 2, in lane 3 Ireland, lane 4 Switzerland, Portugal in lane 5 and Netherlands 1, lane 6.
Ed è così che noi ci spostiamo a seguire anche la seconda semifinale del doppio pesi leggeri maschile. Ecco qui sul nostro monitor, ce li presenta una preziosissima regia. In acqua 1 la Svizzera, in acqua 2 l'Olanda, con i Muda, in acqua 3 l'Irlanda, in acqua 4 il Belgio, in acqua 5 la Polonia, in acqua 6 il Portogallo. Anche qui solo i primi 3 per il passaggio del turno.
Well, France, we've very nearly lost the Olympic champions from tomorrow's A final in this lightweight men's double sculls. I wonder if we can expect any upsets in this particular semi-final. Switzerland, the Netherlands, Ireland, just leading the way with Belgium alongside, and then Poland. It's very close. Portugal and Switzerland first and sixth. Portugal, I beg your pardon, in sixth place, but they're only 2 seconds behind the leaders.
The crews are still pretty closely next to each other as we are just through the 750 meters, approaching the 1,000-meter mark. And, well, one would expect the Portuguese to be able to row themselves into the final. They have a wealth of experience, but as we saw in the previous semi-final, experience doesn't count for everything. It comes down to what you're able to deliver right here, right now, here on the course. And approaching the 1,000 meters, it looks as though Ireland is having a great row here. The O'Donovan brothers, Gary O'Donovan in the bow seat and Paul O'Donovan in the stroke seat, they come through first. Then second, the Muda twins from the Netherlands. They are moving with the field, keeping Switzerland in third, and then it's Belgium, Poland and Portugal.
Sono gli irlandesi Gary e Paul O'Donovan a condurre questa seconda semifinale del doppio pesi leggeri, con un vantaggio però veramente molto esiguo sugli olandesi Tico e Vincent Muda. È una questione tra fratelli? No, attenzione, perché in acqua 4 gli svizzeri Zender e Schmidt provano a dire la loro. In acqua 2 anche gli atleti del Belgio Brice e Van der Wijk sono in corsa per un posto in finale.
And a different picture than yesterday, where we saw the Belgian double of Tim Brijs and Niels van Zandwegen put in a massive performance in the heat racing. The Muda twins had to row through the repechage for the Netherlands, where they qualified for the semi-final through a third position in those repechages. So just barely made it here into the semi-final, but they are making the best out of it. They are in contention for a final spot, rowing controlled, rowing aggressively, but keeping together and maintaining the pace. Meanwhile, at the front of the field, still Ireland out in front, and then the question will be, can Switzerland come back, and can the Polish double also get itself in the mix? Sebastian.
Well, this is absolutely fantastic to watch. It's the the weight limit that levels out the physical limits, the physical abilities. So this is really great to watch, and it's indeed the Irish double who is having a great row, crossing the 1500 meter mark in first place, just half a length down sit the combination from the Netherlands, Tycho and Vincent Muda. They look confident, they look over to the left, they can oversee the whole field from there. And then it's a Swiss combination sitting in a challenge third place at the moment. The Belgian double, the newly formed one, is also challenging the Swiss there, and then it's just half a length down for the Polish. So 5 crews within contention of those 3 vital final A slots to be had from this semi-final. Only the Portuguese have dropped their rate already, realizing that they have not got the chance today to go through to the A final. At the top is Ireland, still in the lead, but it's now level between the Dutch, the Swiss and the Belgian boats, with Poland not far off. What's the view from the Finnish tower?
Esattamente la stessa la nostra visuale, con l'Irlanda che continua a controllare. Irlanda già qualificata, lo ricordiamo, per i Giochi Olimpici di Rio de Janeiro. A seguire abbiamo Olanda e Svizzera, oramai in dirittura d'arrivo. Proprio in queste ultime battute cerca di andare all'attacco all'esterno anche l'equipaggio della Polonia, ma i fratelli Tycho e Vincent Muda non ci vogliono stare. Allora parte la volata finale, continua l'Irlanda, attacca ancora l'Olanda con il Belgio per queste ultime battute.
This is close for third place, and it's actually going to be Netherlands 1 who take that last qualification spot. But first place, Ireland, Gary and Paul O'Donovan. Belgium take second place. Netherlands 1 take third. A terrific performance from the Irish O'Donovan brothers there. And they then, Ireland, Netherlands 1 and Belgium will join South Africa, Spain and Denmark. That now is an official result from the first semi-final. Those 6 crews through to the final of the lightweight men's double sculls.
Bellissimo questo arrivo del doppio leggero, ricordiamo ancora vittoria dell'Irlanda, al secondo posto l'Olanda, terzo il Belgio per il passaggio del turno e l'accesso in finale.
Okay, lightweight men's 4. Next up, the semi-finals of the lightweight men's 4.
La prossima semifinale è quella del 4 senza pesi leggeri maschile.
In lane 1, the Czech Republic. Lane 2, Germany. Lane 3, Italy 2. Lane 4, China. Lane 5, Poland 1. And lane 6, Poland 2.
In acqua 1 Repubblica Ceca, in acqua 2 la Germania, in acqua 3 Italia 2 con tedesco Sfiligoi, Gravina e Tuccinardi, in acqua 4 la Cina, in acqua 5 la Polonia, in acqua 6 Polonia 2.
Well, it's something of an open field, this contest, the lightweight men's 4. We do have the reigning world champions from Switzerland going in the next semi-final, and they must be favourites overall for this event. But this is going to be an intriguing one, this first semi-final. They're just approaching 400 metres, and with the edge right now, it's probably fair to say that China in lane 4 have just got the edge ahead of Italy 2. They're in the running, just coming up to the first split timings at 500 metres. Let's give you those first of all before we hand down to France. China just taking first place, but they're neck and neck with Poland 1. Then the Czech Republic, who are alongside Italy 2 and Germany. And then Poland 2, less than 3 seconds off the pace. So very close. Anybody's race at 600 metres. France, down to you.
This would be a race, if I had to label it, of unknown quantities, and that is because most of these nations who are represented in this semi-final have had success in the lightweight men's fours events in recent years and even before that, but in, well, the last couple of years they have not yet found the same amount of speed which they had previously. For instance, Poland was on a medal podium in Beijing 2008 but have since struggled to find a combination for which is proving fast for them. Also, Italy, with a rich heritage in lightweight men's rowing, of course, has made the finals regularly with the lightweight men's 4, but then again, the medal podium is still a bit off. And China, well, they were world champions in 2006. Everybody thought that there would be a burst of Chinese lightweight rowing coming, which has not yet materialized, but this may be the beginning of something new altogether, because as the crews are now approaching 1,000 meters, it is a clear lead of China in first, and then holding on to it, Poland won in second position, and then over on the far side of the course, it's the Czech Republic in third.
Dare dei riferimenti sul 4 senza pesi leggeri a metà gara è come farsi tagliare soltanto metà barba dal barbiere. Comunque possiamo dirvi in questo momento che la Cina è in testa davanti alla Polonia, e in acqua numero 3 i nostri azzurri Lorenzo Tedesco, Piero Sfiligoi, Guido Gravina e Giorgio Tuccinardi sono in lotta per la terza posizione. Molto vicina è anche la Germania, poi la Repubblica Ceca, più indietro invece la Polonia in acqua 6. Attenzione quindi con la Cina, la Polonia e l'Italia che è in piena corsa per l'accesso in finale.
And the Italians just made a move around 1,000 meters. This is the second Italian crew, so not the selected Olympic 4. This is racing in the other semi-final, but they did give the first Italian crew a run for their money earlier on in heats and repechage racing. So it is a good crew, and Sebastian, they are storming your way.
Yes, absolutely. So, and it's really great to watch. Although I must say, China still on top of this race with quite a big margin for these lightweight 4s races here. China 1.5 lengths up on 4 other crews, nearly level. It's Poland with a slight advantage maybe for second place, but Germany's coming through right now, and it's the Czech Republic and Germany and Italy level in third. Just the canvas down on the poles on Poland 1, that is, and Poland 2 is closing in as well. A fantastic race here in the semi-final of the lightweight men's 4. It's China in the lead, 450 meters left in this race. Open water now between them and the poles, and open water now, mighty push by Poland 1 between Poland and the other crews. Germany and Italy battling out there for third place. The Germans, they have found a very high rate of striking now and are trying to get away from the Italians, but they respond. The Italians respond. The experienced strokeman Giorgio Tuccinardi battling out with Lars Wichert, also one of the most experienced guys in the German team. These two take it down, level pegging for third place. It's China in the lead. It's Poland in second place. But who's going to come third? It could either be Italy or Germany or even the Czech Republic, who's closing in fast as well. So let's see it from the finish tower. Let's hear it from the finish tower.
Siamo in chiusura con questa regata velocissima, il 4 senza leggero maschile, con la Cina lì davanti ancora a mantenere la posizione. Attacco all'esterno della Germania, risponde ancora l'equipaggio della Repubblica Ceca, l'Italia che in questo momento deve andare all'assalto per centrare la finale A, ma è durissimo ancora con la Repubblica Ceca che cerca di portarsi sempre più sotto, e in queste ultime battute la Cina, che con un'imbarcazione di vantaggio dimostra di avere una marcia in più rispetto agli avversari, e sul traguardo Cina, Germania, e per la terza posizione ancora lotta aperta.
China take first place, good performance. Germany takes second. Third is going to take some sorting out. We'll wait for the official result there in this lightweight men's 4. And, well, that really is quite an impressive finish. People's Republic of China through in a 5 minute 56.1 seconds. That's a really good time from them. Germany in second place, just a second and a half behind them. Third goes to the Czech Republic. So it's China, Germany, Czech Republic through to the A final.
Siamo quindi con l'ordine ufficiale di arrivo: vittoria della Cina con 5,56,10, al secondo posto la Germania, terza la Repubblica Ceca, quarta la Polonia, quinta l'Italia, sesta Polonia 2. Passano il turno Cina, Germania e Repubblica Ceca.
It's just the second semi-final. Second semi-final of the lightweight men's four just getting underway with Spain in lane 1, Italy 1 in lane 2, the Netherlands in lane 3, the reigning world champion Switzerland, lane 4, United States of America, lane 5, Japan, lane 6.
Gara numero 88, la semifinale, la seconda del 4 senza pesi leggeri maschile, un'altra grande sfida tutta da raccontare. Spagna in acqua 1, Italia in acqua 2, Goretti, Oppola, Padula e Di Selsel, in acqua 3 l'Olanda, in acqua 4 la Svizzera, in acqua 5 gli Stati Uniti, in acqua 6 il Giappone. Un'altra occasione per gli azzurri. Le prime 3 posizioni garantiranno il passaggio del turno.
Well, in the very early stages, it's Spain who've just got an early edge over the other crews alongside them. Spain going in lane 1. We would expect Switzerland in lane 4 to come through fairly soon. The reigning world champions there, Lucas Tramer, Simon Scher, Simon Niepman and Mario Gier. Very impressive lineup, very strong. But right now, it's still Spain just edging it as we approach 500 meters. I'll give you the split timings, and then we'll head down to the water and hear from France. Spain through with just half a second gap between them and Switzerland. USA just a little bit further back, but Italy won right alongside them, as are the Netherlands. Japan a tiny bit off the pace, but really less than 2.5 seconds in it at 500 meters. Just coming up to 600 meters. Franz, it's back to you.
It looks as though Spain have gone early and have gone fast. The race tactic to try to establish an advantage in the early stages of the race and then hope to hold on in the second part of the race. We have seen Spanish crews race like this in earlier tournaments, so this is a proven quantity for them. Meanwhile, though, the Swiss moving up again, stroked on by Mario Gier. He was a fixture of the Swiss lightweight men's rowing and the Swiss lightweight 4 that took 5th in London 2012. After London, they moved into different boat classes, with Gier and Schurch having success in the lightweight men's double, whereas Tramer and Niepman became world champions even in the lightweight men's pair. Reunited for the 2015 season, initially with a different lineup, with Niepman stroking and Gier sitting back in second. They moved into this setup right before Lucerne, and they haven't looked back since. And here they are, approaching 1,000 meters. The Swiss have gone on into the lead. Second would be Italy and Spain, still level pegging, with the Netherlands and US vying for third, and then it's only Japan a bit off the pace, but great racing here unfolding.
Sguscia via subito veloce la Svizzera, che detiene il titolo mondiale nel 4 senza pesi leggeri. In seconda posizione ai 1000 metri ci sono gli Stati Uniti, con l'Italia che è lì a giocarsi la seconda e terza posizione. Attenzione poi al suo fianco all'Olanda. La Spagna, che era partita molto forte, ora veramente sta faticando in acqua 1, mentre completamente fuori dai giochi il Giappone in acqua 6. E allora la Svizzera a comandare, ma in evidenza i nostri azzurri Martino Goretti, Stefano Oppo, Livio Lapadula, Alberto Di Seisel hanno tutte le carte in regola per accedere alla finale.
And this is where the Netherlands are trying to move on. They are trying to overtake the Italians, moving up on the Swiss. Meanwhile, the crew from the US is able to move with them. Recently selected through trials, this is going to be the crew that's going to go to the Olympics for the US, racing here to test their speed against the Swiss and against all the competition. Sebastian, a great semi-final is unfolding right in front of your eyes.
Yes, and it's a pleasure and a privilege to be allowed to commentate on this. It's the reigning world and European champion from Switzerland with another beautiful row. They really look good here technically, coming towards the 1500 meter mark with the length and open water behind them. But behind them, it's a trio separated by a meter. It's Italy, it's the Netherlands, and it's the United States. It's just about numbers width between all three. Then it's 2 lengths of open water to the Spanish and the Japanese, who seem to be out of contention of the final air places at this moment, barring any disaster of the leading crews. Then Switzerland still holding on. What a race, what a pace set by them on the first half. They came through after 1,000 to establish a clear leadership, a clear domination in this race here. But the United States now, with a very aggressive spurt, try to get away from the Dutch and the Italians. The Italians find the pace set by the Netherlands, and the United States a bit tough at the moment and seem to be losing ground a little bit. It's Switzerland in the lead though, United States and the Netherlands, and then Italy.
In questi ultimi 250 metri dobbiamo tentare il colpaccio. Ale, è una cartuccia da sparare nel modo giusto e allora andiamo a accompagnarlo. Schiranna, cerchiamo di sostenere gli azzurri, devono arrivare almeno terzi per passare in finale A. Attacco in questo momento deciso da parte della Svizzera, che è il centro del percorso, non vuole lasciare nulla di intentato. Parte la volata dell'Olanda. Se l'Italia riuscisse ad agganciarsi in questo momento sarebbe fatta, e domani è un'altra storia. All'interno però gli Stati Uniti sono cattivissimi e l'Italia all'esterno accorcia la palata. Alberto Di Seyssel schiaccia sull'acceleratore. Siamo in chiusura, possiamo crederci ancora? Chiudiamo gli occhi.
It's an exciting place to be in the finish tower when Italy are competing, and they get through. But as the Swiss crew, of course, looking so strong, they take first place. But Italy won, have qualified for the final of the lightweight men's four. They've taken third place behind the Netherlands in second. I'm going to wait confirmation before we get too excited because it was close. And in fact, no, Italy won, haven't gone through. It's the United States of America. My apologies. It's Switzerland, the Netherlands, USA, very little in it, less than a tenth of the second separating USA and Italy won. So it's Switzerland, the Netherlands and the USA who go through to the final of the lightweight men's four, with China, Germany and the Czech Republic.
Quando corre l'Italia ci provi a spingerla con la voce, ma è difficile davvero. Siamo con l'ufficializzazione anche della semifinale del 4 senza. Vittoria della Svizzera, al secondo posto l'Olanda, terzo posto per gli Stati Uniti d'America, quarta l'Italia fuori dalla finale anche con il 4 senza 1 della pesi leggeri maschile.
Sorry about that. My apologies, Luca. I'm so sorry. We all got too excited up here. We thought Italy had come through. They'll be in... My apologies, Luca. We got so excited up here. Italy, we thought had come through, but just beaten at the line. They'll be in the B final, though.
Saranno nella finale B. Ne avremo 2 anche qui. Oltre al doppio pesi leggeri femminile, caro Rob, anche 2 equipaggi nel 4 senza pesi leggeri maschile in finale B.
Indeed. Very good news for Italy there. Okay, let's move on. It's the repechage of the men's quadruple sculls.
Ci spostiamo alla prossima gara ed è il recupero del 4 di coppia maschile.
4 places go through to the A final after Russia and Estonia qualified directly from the heats. Going in this repechage in lane 1, it's Norway. In lane 2, Canada. In lane 3, Italy 1. Poland in lane 4, Italy 2 in lane 5.
In acqua 1 la Norvegia, in acqua 2 il Canada, in acqua 3 Italia 1. Cardaioli, Sartori, Gentili e Fiume. In acqua 4 la Polonia, in acqua 5 Italia 2, gli Under 23. Morganti, Mumolo, Laino e Garibaldi.
Well, Italy are assured of an A final spot because there are 5 crews racing for 4 places. Only 1 crew will miss out on the A final. As I say, Russia and Estonia already through. So it's Norway, Canada, Italy 1, Poland and Italy 2. At the 500-meter split, Canada and Poland lead the way ahead of Norway, then Italy 1 and Italy 2 bringing up the rear. Franz, over to you.
Well, indeed, Rob, in terms of statistics, Italy has a very good chance of qualifying at least 1 boat for the final A. I should remind, though, that under FISA rules, crews are required to pass the finish line, at least the boat is required to pass the finish line in order to progress. So one would say that there's no certainty until the finish line has been crossed by at least one of the boats. But anyway, it is good news, and it is good to see the old Alessio Sartori in the 2 seat of the first Italian Canadian boats, and he's powering on a new generation of Giacomo Gentili and Emanuele Fiume in the two-stroke seats in the Italian double, and they are moving, but they are trailing the quad of Canada and the quads of Poland, who have established themselves a front runner here in the race. Now passing 1,000 meters, it's Canada in first, then about half a canvas down, it's Poland in second, then it's Norway in third, and Italy won in fourth.
Due equipaggi azzurri anche nel recupero del 4 di coppia maschile, quello di Francesco Cardaioli, Alessio Sartori, Giacomo Gentili e il giovanissimo Emanuele Fiumi. Giovanissimi sono tutti e due, entrambi classe 1997, Gentili e Fiume in quarta posizione dietro il Canada, la Polonia e la Norvegia, 4 posti a disposizione per la finale. In quinta posizione abbiamo l'equipaggio Under 23 composto da Stefano Morganti, Davide Mumola, Alessandro Laino, Federico Garibaldi.
And one can be sure that these crews are also eyeing one another, not only for the final, which will take place tomorrow, but also for the Olympic qualification regatta, because Canada, Italy and Norway have not yet qualified their quads for the Rio 2016 Olympics. Canada looking particularly strong here, and they have their eyes set on a good result here, but they're also looking towards a qualification regatta. So, Sebastian, your view on the Canadian quad, please.
Well, my view first goes out to Julien Barrin, the French-Canadian with a French and a Canadian passport, who was a world champion for France a few years back in the double scull. Now in the second year in a row, rowing for Canada. And looking to his right, he sees the bow of the Polish quadruple scull on his line, 90 degrees off. So that means that the Poles are half a length down on the Canadians, trying to close in at this point. Then it's the Norwegian combination in third position, and Italy won only in fourth, but closing in on the Norwegians at this point. As you said, it's Alessio Sartori, Olympic silver medalist in 2012, who is giving this crew experience, 21 years older than the two other members in his crew. So what a great combination of experience and youth, and they hope to be qualified via the final Olympic qualification regatta. Italy too, the under-23 squad in 5th position. So leading the way home though, Canada ahead of Poland.
E allora andiamo a volare con il 4 di coppia pesante, con il Canada ancora lì davanti con il tempo di 4:19, sta sbaragliando tutti. Al secondo posto c'è la Polonia, terza la Norvegia, l'Italia è lì comunque in quarta posizione, solo l'ultimo rimarrà fuori dai giochi e saranno gli Under 23, purtroppo con Morganti, Mummolo, Laino e Garibaldi in acqua numero 5 qui a Varese per fare grande esperienza. Intanto sul traguardo nulla cambia, con Canada, Polonia e la Norvegia per le prime 3 posizioni.
Canada take first place ahead of Poland in second, and in third place over in lane 1 Norway, and Italy one coming home in 4th place. So those 4 will go through to the A finals. Italy 2 comes in to complete this men's quad sculls repechage. So Canada, Poland, Norway, Italy 1 will join Russia and Estonia in the final of the men's quadruple sculls.
E abbiamo visto in questo momento la conferma ufficiale sul nostro schermo. Ladies and gentlemen, 5:47.03 per il Canada, secondo posto la Polonia, terzo posto per la Norvegia, quarta ma comunque in finale l'Italia di Cardaioli, Sartori, Gentili e Fiume.
Now it's the B final of the lightweight women's single sculls.
La prossima sfida è la finale B del singolo pesi leggeri femminile.
Just 3 crews contesting this event for places 7, 8 and 9. Ireland 2, Siobhan Macron sadly has had to withdraw for medical reasons, so going in lane 2, Switzerland 2, that's Pauline Delacroix. In lane 3 for Algeria, Amina Ruba. And lane 4, Ireland 1, that's Denise Walsh.
Sono solo 3 gli equipaggi in gara, purtroppo l'Acqua 1 si è ritirata proprio questa mattina per dei problemi medici. In acqua 2 Svizzera 2, in acqua 3 l'Algeria, in acqua 4 l'Irlanda, quindi per andare ad assegnare le posizioni dalla settima alla nona.
Well, the early battle for honours is very much between Delacroix of Switzerland and Denise Walsh of Ireland. Amina Ruba not far behind, but just a couple of seconds separating her and Delacroix as they go through the 500-metre split. They're approaching you now, Franz. How are they looking?
As though they are in fighting mode, and that's a good thing to see in B finals, C finals, D finals. It is actually a given in the international competition that athletes want to make their best, and well, we explained during yesterday's commentary that in world rowing, we need to rank everything and everyone. So that means that we just keep on racing until we have a final ranking of numbers 1 until the last entry available in the field. So that means that B finals are contested, and they are contested in a good way, because we see now the crews approaching the 1,000 meters, and it's Pauline Delacroix of Switzerland who was unfortunate to miss out on the A final this morning. She was actually edged out by one of her compatriots, Ladina Meyer of Switzerland, who is going to contest the A final later on this afternoon. And we see Denise Walsh of Ireland. She also had to contend with, well, the fact of not being able to qualify for the A final, but making the best out of it and coming through the 1,000 meters. Actually, Walsh and Delacroix are level, with Ruba about 3/4 of a length behind.
Palio la settima posizione nella finale B del singolo pesi leggeri femminile. Ai 1000 metri il passaggio di Denise Walsh, irlandese, appaiata Pauline Delacroix, svizzera. In terza posizione Amina Ruba, algerina, classe 1986. Una gara che è ancora assolutamente viva, con soprattutto Irlanda e Svizzera 2 a contendersi il successo.
And Walsh looking a bit more aggressive and a bit more lively than she did this morning in racing when, she was quick to drop off the pace when the pace heated up just a bit. So she is having a better race than she was this morning when she contested the semi-finals. Well, there you have it. It's difficult for athletes to have to race 2 times in a single day. Sebastian already mentioned the buildup of lactate in your muscles in the course of a rowing race, which you have to get out of your system before you're able to, row at your full power again. But there's not too much time for these athletes to recuperate from racing, so having to race a B final right after the race of the semi-final earlier this morning is something tough. But Sebastian, it looks as though these athletes are coping with that very well.
Yes, indeed, and none of them is really lacking the power and the speed to go with the other crews, so that's a good sight to watch. 59 kilos maximum weight in this pesi leggeri lightweight women's single scull, so the weight limit once again leveling out the physical differences here. And Amina Ruba of Algeria really picks up her rate of striking right now and tries to close the gap to the Irish sculler sitting in second place. It's the Delacroix sculler of Switzerland in first place at the moment, but just a length separating all 3 scullers with 500 meters to go. The Swiss sculler looks to her right. Classic single sculling. You judge your own speed by judging or by watching your opponents. It's very, very hard to judge the speed of the single just by yourself, whereas in a bigger boat that's easier. It has its own boat speed, propelled by the whole crew. Here, the single scull, every stroke you have to accelerate your boat all by yourself, and it's the Swiss sculler who still does that best. Quite a slight advantage here over the Ireland sculler, Denise Walsh, trying to fight off the challenge set by the Algerian. All 3 scullers still within 1.5 lengths. A good sight to watch, and the best view, of course, to have Robert and Luca from the finish tower.
Ed eccoci allora a volare per chiudere questa finale B con 3 equipaggi, come dicevamo in apertura, quindi per andare ad assegnare le posizioni settima, ottava e nona nel singolo pesi leggeri femminile. E ancora al comando c'è l'atleta della Svizzera, un'atleta molto giovane, la più giovane del gruppo, nata il 26 marzo del 1994, 22 le candeline lucine già spente nella ultima torta, la sua ultima festa di compleanno, ed è proprio la Svizzera che continua davanti all'Irlanda con Denise Walsh per la terza posizione. Invece sono i colori dell'Algeria. In questo momento però l'Irlanda si sta portando pericolosamente sotto per cercare comunque di passare almeno per aggiudicarsi la finale B. La Svizzera sembra aver finito la benzina e in chiusura è proprio l'Irlanda che riesce a passare. Irlanda, Svizzera e poi l'Algeria.
It's Denise Walsh, Ireland 1, who takes first place, and it was a really good tussle between her and Delacroix, Switzerland 2, who takes second place as we finish the race with the third place, Amina Ruba of Algeria. So Denise Walsh wins the B final of the lightweight women's singles sculls. That's seventh place overall.
Sul traguardo possiamo quindi confermarlo, il sorpasso è stato servito, vittoria dell'Irlanda, al secondo posto la Svizzera, al terzo l'Algeria, ancora 2 finali B e poi preparatevi perché andremo con le prime finali di questa Coppa del Mondo e l'assegnazione delle prime medaglie in singolo e in 2 senza. 3 finali con 3 medaglie da assegnare e ovviamente 3 titoli a marchio varese.
It's the B final of the lightweight men's single sculls.
È la finale B del singolo pesi leggeri maschile.
They're a long way down the course. Marco Bolla, Slovenia 2, lane 1. Juha Petäjäniemi of Finland, lane 2. Federico Gerzi, Italy 4, lane 3.
Slovenia, Finlandia ed Italia, andiamo a seguirla dall'acqua.
Franz, quick word from you if you would.
A very quick word is that Juha-Pekka Petäjäniemi of Finland was in front, followed closely by Slovenia 2, Marco Bolla, and Federico Gerzi of Italy in third.
E allora la situazione della finale B del singolo pesi leggeri maschile, con davanti il finlandese Petäjäniemi, in seconda posizione lo sloveno Bola e in terza, ma tutt'altro che fuori dai giochi, l'azzurro Federico Gerzi.
And Sebastian, I can imagine that there will be some local interest in the Italian sculler in lane 3, Federico Gerzi. He's still in contact with the leader. Will he be able to overtake him?
Well, that's still some way to go, but it's still 600 meters that are left in this race here. Garzi coming from the lightweight men's quad of last year, 6th place for them at the Ekbalet World Rowing Championships. The leader being Juho-Pekka Petäjäniemi of Finland at the moment, and Marko Bolcha of Slovenia sitting in 2nd place. So single sculling is really a grueling business. You start and then you have to push every one of the 220 strokes in a race roughly really right, and judge your own power, judge your own speed. Gerzi picking up speed right now, closing in on the Slovenian. So let's hear it from the home crowd. He will try and get 2nd place here in this final B of the lightweight men's single scull, with the Finnish sculler really on top of his game today, this afternoon here, and trying to finish this race in victorious manner, taking probably the 7th place in the overall ranking here on the World Cup 1 in Varese in Italy. 250 meters left, and it's Finland leading now, Slovenia and Italy closing in fast.
Ed ecco allora in queste ultime battute che noi andiamo a completare questa sfida tra i 3 singolisti della finale B leggera, Finlandia, Slovenia ed Italia. In questo momento l'Italia continua ad essere terza in questa specialità. Peccato per Federico Gerzi, che purtroppo non è riuscito a recuperare nel miglior modo e in questo momento comunque cerca di reagire per portarsi sotto. Potrebbe essere una bella sorpresa l'attacco sulla Slovenia. La Finlandia invece in acqua al centro del percorso continua a dominare. Il passaggio ai 1500 lo ricordiamo, 5:22:57, ed ora è lì sempre davanti, ma Federico Gerzi attacca, si porta sotto, cerca di reagire e allora Federico Gerzi ci fa credere di riuscire ancora a rientrare e va con determinazione assoluta per ridurre il gap e a cercare almeno di acciuffare una seconda posizione. Finlandia, Italia e Slovenia in chiusura.
No, it's a good close race all the way down to the line. Fantastic finish. Great race from Pietaniemi of Finland, who takes first place. Very close to call for second and third between Bola and Gerzi. The winning time for Pietaniemi was 7:09.41 seconds. Second place goes to Gerzi of Italy. A couple of seconds outside Pietaniemi's time, but just a tenth of a second ahead of Bola of Slovenia 2 in third.
Sul traguardo il sorpasso è stato servito e quindi Gerzi è secondo in finale B. Vittoria della Finlandia, al terzo posto la Slovenia.
So to the last of our B finals before we go to our first medal races of this World Rowing Cup 1 Varese. This is the B final of the lightweight men's pair.
Siamo con la finale B del due senza pesi leggeri maschile. È l'ultima finale B di giornata, poi 3 finali A.
Just 3 crews lining up for this one, and they are approaching the halfway mark with Portugal in lane 1, Spain 2 in lane 2, Japan lane 3.
In acqua 1 il Portogallo, in acqua 2 la Spagna 2, in acqua 3 il Giappone, a contendersi le posizioni dalla settima alla nona.
Franz, this is another close one.
It sure is, Rob. We had Portugal in the lead with 1,000 meters left, and they were about half a boat up on both Spain and Japan, who moved virtually level through the first 1,000 meters. Japan, I heard a call from the bowman to his strokeman, so the 1,000-meter marker would have been a sign for them to initiate a push, but that call would also have been heard by the boats of Spain and Portugal. So maybe they're all responding to the same time, but they are moving up together.
Molto combattuta anche la finale B del 2 senza pesi leggeri, con i portoghesi Correa Carvalho e Gonçalves Coelho in prima posizione, vicinissima però la Spagna di Romero Garcia, Gomez e Cottiglia. Non si dà per vinto nemmeno il Giappone di Ishita e Tadaki.
And we have seen some great pairs racing during this first World Cup here in Varese. It's a high standard event. It takes a lot of balance. It takes a lot of technique to be able to make the boat move well. And it also takes a lot of grit to compete, because it is just very grueling on the muscles and on the endurance and on the lungs to race a pair. Everything just starts to hurt in the second part of the race. So, Sebastian, that's around the time when you have them in your view that they should be really hurting.
Yes, and it looks as though all crews still have left some reserve. They hurt, yes, but as you said, it's all about endurance. And this third quarter of the race is where you play out your endurance accumulated over the winter. And the Spanish do that best at the moment. Alvaro Romero Garcia and Ramon Gomez Cotilla, they have established a length lead now over the other 2 crews, and it's the Japanese who look very fluent in style, very smooth style rowing here from them, and the Portuguese try to respond there. The Portuguese already on 40 strokes a minute. So this field is small. It's just 3 boats, but it's really, really competitive. The 3 boats being together, separated by just over a length, with Spain on top of this race, ahead of Japan, and then it's Portugal in third place. The last stretch of water opening up in this race, in the B final of the lightweight men's pair, and it's indeed Spain leading Japan and Portugal.
E allora andiamo a accompagnarli fino in fondo. Siamo con i 3-2 senza a contendersi questa vittoria nella finale B. A condurre sono ancora i colori della Spagna, equipaggio di Romero Garcia e Gomez Cortilla, che continuano al centro del percorso a picchiare duro sul Portogallo ed il Giappone. In questo momento il Giappone che sta cercando di portarsi sotto pericolosamente sul Portogallo per cercare di rovinare la festa di questa finale B, ma oramai in dirittura d'arrivo è l'equipaggio spagnolo che cerca di aumentare ancora il numero dei colpi. È buono il colpo in chiusura e con mezza imbarcazione di vantaggio va ad accaparrarsi la vittoria la Spagna in questa finale B.
Spain take the plaudits for the B final then of the lightweight men's pair. Very close for a second and third, but second place goes to Portugal in lane 1 with Japan in third. That for places 7 through to 9 in the lightweight men's pair.
Settimo, ottavo e nono posto assegnato, vittoria della Spagna, al secondo posto il Portogallo, terzo posto il Giappone.
So will they row it today? Okay, and will the lightweight men's singles go at the scheduled time? Okay, thank you. Shall I just announce that as best as we know so far? Ladies and gentlemen, just some news ahead of the A finals in the lightweight women's singles sculls. It's had to be postponed because Catherine Sauk's boat, the Canadian scull, her boat is broken. So we're having to source a replacement boat for Canada. So the lightweight women's single sculls are postponed for the time being, which means our first A final this afternoon will be the lightweight men's single sculls. As far as I'm aware, that's still scheduled to go ahead at 15:40. That's in 10 minutes' time. But I will, of course, keep you posted.
Signore e signori, voi tifosi pronti a seguire le finale A? Abbiamo una comunicazione ufficiale a tutti voi. La finale A del singolo pesi leggeri femminile è stata posticipata ad orario da destinarsi. Questo perché l'imbarcazione, il singolo dell'atleta canadese ha avuto dei problemi e purtroppo stanno cercando una nuova imbarcazione per permettere all'atleta canadese di poter gareggiare. Di conseguenza questa regata è stata posticipata e di conseguenza vi daremo ulteriori informazioni. La prossima finale, quindi la finale A, la prima del nostro pomeriggio, sarà il singolo pesi leggeri maschile alle ore 15:45.
Yes, just to repeat what Luca was saying there, the lightweight men's single sculls A final, that will now go at 15:45. 15:45, just 5 minutes later than originally scheduled. And we'll keep you up to date with the postponed lightweight women's single sculls as to when that will be run. Yeah.
Okay, so our medal presenters are going to stay in the order. So ceremony one
Thank you.
is this.
Oh, so will ceremony one still be this race?
No,
I see.
that's the thing. So what do you want to do as far as scripting goes?
We will
Are you
just...
happy to just change
Yes.
the event title?
So that'll be lightweight men's single sculls, yeah?
Yes, correct.
Thank you. Are you okay with this, Luca?
So just if you can change your event title.
So everything else stays the same.
Everything else stays the same.
Thank you very much.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put like let's reference it ceremony 1, ceremony 2, ceremony 3 as far as this script here goes.
So this is lightweight men's single sculls. Right. Actually, I don't think I do. I don't have tea. But he very kindly did get me a bottle of tea. No, thank you. so small. I don't know where it is. I don't think it's where it says it is, though.
Behind the
That's not there.
That's what Andy's told us to say.
Okay, we'll carry on saying. No, that's the. And the shop isn't there. Because the only shop I can see of World Rowing is down in the boat park, which you can only get there if you've got accreditation. Let's fudge it. I don't know what you're going to say. Neither do I. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, while there's a slight gap in proceedings, just a reminder that there's plenty to see and do around the area behind the grandstand, where we've got a number of outlets there, plenty of clothing and other memorabilia to get hold of. Do keep an eye out for the official World Rowing merchandise area as well. There's also a stall showing more about World Rowing, what it is we do, and what it means to be a rower. So plenty to keep your interest high, but remember, not long until we're due to get underway at 2:45 with the A final of the lightweight men's single sculls. The lightweight women's single sculls has had to be postponed just because of a breakage on the Canada boat of Catherine Saux. We will keep you posted on when that has been rescheduled for, but 2:45 in 7 or 8 minutes from now will be when we get underway with the A final of the lightweight men's single sculls.
Una bella occasione in questo piccolo attimo di pausa per visitare il merchandising store di World Rowing, un punto centrale all'interno del nostro grande villaggio remiero, dove avrete la possibilità di trovare tante informazioni e allo stesso tempo, perché no, magari anche acquistare qualche piccolo ricordo da portare a casa con voi. Siamo in attesa della partenza ufficiale della prima finale del pomeriggio, che a questo punto sarà il singolo pesi leggeri maschile.
Not into the water. Put it on tea. Sam, would you like a cup of tea? Oh, okay. I know what you're doing. Do you want to go get your cup of tea, Rob? No. Sure. Are you going that way? No, I'm not really doing much else. Well, look, I'll tell you what. If you could, that'd be great. Would anyone else have anything? I'm looking out the window. What is that in boats nearer? You're watching the screen. I went over to the window and looked outside for sample one. 3, 2, 1, go sample one. Give us our sample. What do you want? Probably 250. Cup of tea is lovely. Well, I think they've got Earl Grey, so if they have, yeah. Thank you, sir. That's very kind of you. But I am desperate. Desperato. Sì. Grazie mille. And announcement. Does that coincide with an announcement?
Yes.
Okay. My energy level is dropping off.
Can we play the song of Varese?
Oh, we should, shouldn't we? Yes.
New start time at 4:15.
4:15. The race has been postponed. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I have news for you about the delayed lightweight women's single sculls. It will now get underway at 4:15 this afternoon. 4:15 for the A final of the lightweight women's sculls. So that will be the final race of the day, following the lightweight men's single sculls, which will get underway in under 5 minutes. And then that's the lightweight men's pair. And then the delayed A final of the lightweight women's single sculls will now be at 4:15. Thank you.
Ci comunicano in questo momento che l'ora ufficiale della finale del singolo pesi leggeri femminile è quello delle ore 16:15. Alle ore 16:15 scatterà quindi la finale del singolo pesi leggeri femminile in coda al singolo pesi leggeri maschile e al 2 senza maschile.
Okay, so we are 1 minute 15 away from first event.
Ladies and gentlemen, getting ready for the A final of the lightweight men's single sculls.
Signore e signori, ci siamo con la prima finale della Coppa del Mondo. È la finale A del singolo pesi leggeri maschile.
The lineup in lane 1, Norway 2, Sten Sture. In lane 2, Switzerland 1, Daniel Vedeke. In lane 3, Slovenia 1, Rajko Hrvat. In lane 4, Croatia, Luka Radonic. Lane 5, Norway 1, Asgyari Tjom. And in lane 6, Algeria, Sid Budina.
Ricapitolando i 6 finalisti, in acqua 1 Norvegia 2, in acqua 2 Svizzera 1, in acqua 3 Slovenia 1, Croazia in acqua 4, in acqua 5 Norvegia 1 e in acqua 6 l'Algeria.
So lane 1 is Norway 2, lane 2, Switzerland 1, Slovenia 1, lane 3, Croatia lane 4, Norway 1, lane 5, Algeria lane 6. But there's no big, there is a big screen. And we're taking this down to 600-ish. So they are underway in the first A final of this World Rowing Cup 1 in Varese. Sten Sture of Norway 2 had to come through the repechage to make it in today, as did Sid Budina of Algeria out in lane 6. But do look out for Slovenia 1. That's Rajko Hrvat. He was the quickest in the heats. Luka Radonic alongside him from Croatia, winner of Heat 2. Daniel Wiedeke, Switzerland 1, was also quick in those heats. And of course, Asgyari Tjom, Norway 1. He'll be extremely competitive here as well. Early stages, though, underway in the final of the lightweight men's single sculls.
Siamo in acqua, pronti a raccontarvela. Guardate a destra sul maxi schermo, abbiamo anche le immagini. Questa è la diretta della prima finale da Varese con la Croazia, Luka Radonic che si porta al comando, sta viaggiando intorno ai 37 colpi al minuto ed una media vicina ai 18 orari, ma in questo momento è la Croazia ancora davanti, 37 colpi al minuto. Bello il colpo in acqua, sospensione e poi la passata fino in fondo come delle fucilate con quelle gambe per portarsi davanti sempre di più. Cerca la luce in questo momento quando siamo al passaggio dei primi 500 metri. Luka Radonic ancora davanti con i colori della Croazia. Siamo vicini al rilevamento cronometrico.
Luka Radonic of Croatia with a slight edge. He's rating at around 36-37 strokes a minute right now as they're through the first split time at the 500-meter mark. Rajko Hrvat, Slovenia 1, with him in second place. Tjom of Norway 1 in third, but right alongside him from Switzerland, Daniel Wiedeke. And then it's Sten Sture of Norway 2. Sid Budina of Algeria just behind in sixth.
Un piccolo aggiornamento ancora, continua la corsa della Croazia davanti con Luka Radonic, ma per la seconda e terza posizione abbiamo Slovenia 1 e la Norvegia. Queste le tre nazioni che si stanno cercando di contendere le medaglie quando siamo al passaggio dei 700 metri, sempre 35 colpi, 36 per la Croazia. Questo atleta classe 93 ne ha da vendere in acqua nella prima frazione di gara.
So the first medals of this World Rowing Cup 1 Varese will be decided in the next few minutes. Let's get down to the water and join France.
Crews are approaching 750 meters and no clear early leader and no clear contender for the medals. In a way, the lightweight men's single sculls crown is vacant this year. The world champion from last year, Pierre Houin of France, he's not competing here, and he will compete later this year, perhaps even in the French national double. That's still under decision. So indeed, we will have probably a new world champion at the end of the year when the international event World Championships are raced in Rotterdam in August of this year. But now, first things first, here on Varese, the first World Cup, it is is the crews in lanes 3 and 4, which would be Ratko Horvat and Luka Radonic, moving virtually level through the first 1,000 meters, then followed by the crews from Switzerland and Norway, Arstyom Chom and Daniel Wiedeke, also level, and then numbers 5 and 6 also level through the first 1,000.
Lo sloveno Rajko Horvat, il croato Luka Radonic a giocarsi la medaglia d'oro nella finale del singolo pesi leggeri maschile. Attenzione però al possibile ritorno dello svizzero Wederker in acqua 2 e del norvegese Thiom in acqua 5. Questa la situazione poco dopo i 1000 metri, siamo vicinissimi già al riferimento dei 1250. Radonic e Horvat davanti.
And it looks as though Radonic and Horvat are quite evenly matched. They do not have a clear lead between them. They do not let one of them get away. It's like when you have indoor cycling, when you have two cyclists looking over their shoulders, just watching each other, just watching one of them to make the first move in the sprint, and then the other will tag along. And, well, that is for place 1 and 2, but also for place 3. Keep an eye out for Daniel Wiedeke of Switzerland. He was in the Swiss double last year. This year in the single. And whether that will be permanent, we do not know, but it does appear that he has got quite a knack at single sculling. Approaching the 1500 meter now. Over to you, Sebastian.
Well, thanks, Franz and Marco. And a mighty push has been done by the world rowing silver medalist, by Rajko Horvat of Slovenia. After 12:50, he stepped his foot on the gas, and there he is now at 38 strokes a minute with a 2.5 length margin over over Luka Radonic of Croatia, who sits in a comfortable second place. Well, not too comfortable though, because the Norwegian sculler, that's Asgard Thuum, and also the Swiss sculler Daniel Wiedeke, which means something of a comeback, who tries to make his comeback here on the medal positions, because presently they're occupied by Slovenia, by Croatia and by Norway. Can the Swiss sculler come back? He looks over his right shoulder. He sees the challenge there set by the Croatian especially and the Norwegian. The other two scullers, the other Norwegian and also Sid Budina for Algeria, hang back a little bit with 250 to go. What a race pace set by Rajko Horvat. He had a good season, but topped that off really with a fantastic silver medal at Igbelet at the World Rowing Championship. Rajko Horvat of Slovenia on his way to another gold medal at the World International races during this World Cup here. That's the question.
Una bella domanda, ma che noi prepariamo per andare a raccontare fino all'ultimo centimetro. Attacco deciso ancora, è riuscito ad uscire in modo meraviglioso lo sloveno, che in acqua numero 3, pronto a conquistare un'altra medaglia dopo la medaglia d'argento al campionato del mondo. Per la seconda posizione ci crede e spinge ancora anche la Croazia, terza al campionato del mondo tra gli under 23, ed è qui la bagarre finale con la Slovenia al comando. Poi c'è la Repubblica Ceca, la Croazia e la Svizzera sul traguardo a completare, ma è la Slovenia in chiusura.
It's gold to Rajko Horvat of Slovenia. Silver is going to go to Luka Radonic of Croatia. And it looks like bronze is probably going the way of Switzerland one Daniel Wiedeke. But gold Rajko Horvat. I may be wrong about the bronze medal. Luka Radonic takes silver. And bronze goes to Thuum of Norway 1.
In chiusura grande soddisfazione, i sorrisi in questo momento inquadrato il giovanissimo Luka Radonic, lo vedete sul maxi schermo, e ancora il terzo classificato, l'atleta norvegese. Vittoria per lo sloveno dopo l'argento al campionato del mondo e oro alla Schiranna di Varese, medaglia d'oro per lo sloveno in acqua 3, argento alla Croazia, bronzo alla Norvegia.
Thank you very much. So the next race is at 15:55? No. No. 4 o'clock. Sorry. And as we watch the highlights of that very impressive final of the lightweight men's single sculls up on the big screen, just to let you know, the next final, that's the lightweight men's pair, will get underway at 4 o'clock.
Alle 4:00 la prossima partenza, alle 4 avremo la finale A del 2 senza pesi leggeri maschile e qui un equipaggio azzurro potrebbe regalarci la prima medaglia di questa Coppa del Mondo. Nel frattempo, con gli highlights, rivediamo ancora le forti emozioni che abbiamo avuto modo di provare durante la regata. Una vittoria, quella della Slovenia, costruita nella seconda parte di gara con una crescita in progressione dai 1500 in poi la Croazia e la Norvegia. Non ci resta che attendere i nostri campioni per celebrarli come si deve qui alla Schirana di Varese.
And just to let you know, Raiko Hrvat, who has been manoeuvring his boat in front of the finish tower here as he heads to the victory medal ceremony pontoon. Very good time from him, 6:55.35 to win that race. The world best time, 6:43.37, set in Amsterdam in 2014 at the World Championships by Marcello Miani of Italy. But 6:55.35 here to win from Raiko Hrvat. A very good time indeed. It's mostly awful, but I beg pardon? No. That would be even worse. But I'm grateful to the boy for his effort.
Matty, Eddie, just while we're waiting on results, do you want to confirm medal presenter, please, for our lightweight men's single sculls?
Grazie. When I've said medals be presented by, do that.
Yeah.
Grazie.
Slovenia gold. Yes, Slovenia won gold.
Do we say representing as its country, do we say Slovenia won or Slovenia?
Slovenia won a gold, Croatia silver, and Norway won a bronze.
So winning the gold medal, sorry, where do we say his name? Here.
So we're going to take broadcast for the lane-by-lane intros.
Keep saying the name. That's the translation of the Guinness World Title. Do you want me to leave this with you? I'll handwrite those two in for the other ones there. So if you've got number one, I'll do two and three.
Va bene? Quindi.
Signore e signori, cerimonia di
What do we say?
Matteo, you want me to book for tonight? Sì. Come back to you? When the race is going? Okay. Grazie. Rob and I will do tutta la presentazione.
Sì.
Roberto, io. Salvo 1 in 3, 2, 1, Salvo 1,
We haven't set it up yet.
yes, we're going to do it back, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, the A final of the lightweight men's pair.
Signore e signori, siamo con la finale A del 2 senza pesi leggeri maschile.
In lane 1, Switzerland, Fiorin Ridi and Joel Scherch. In lane 2, Spain 1, Sergio Perez Moreno and Jesus Gonzalez Alvarez. Lane 3, Germany, Sven Kessler and Julius Peschel. In lane 4, China, Zheng Tao and Kong Deming. Lane 5, Italy 2, Giovanni Ficara, Lorenzo Gerosa. And lane 6, Turkey, Merkan Kartel, Fatih Unsal.
In acqua 1 abbiamo la Svizzera, in acqua 2 la Spagna, in acqua 3 la Germania, in acqua 4 la Cina, in acqua 5 fate il tifo. C'è l'Italia con Lorenzo Gerosa. In acqua 5 a completare e in acqua 6 la Turchia.
And they're underway in the final of the lightweight men's pair. Switzerland, Spain 1, Germany, China, Italy 2, and Turkey. Turkey in lane 6, Switzerland in lane 1 had to come through the repechage to qualify for this final. But keep a close eye on the German crew in lane 3, Sven Kessler, Julius Peschel. They were the quickest of all these crews in the heats. But second behind them in heat 2 were the Spanish. They're in lane 2. China, well, very little to separate them and Italy 2 in their heat. Just 0.2 of a second between them and Italy 2. Italy 2 just edging out Portugal, who failed to make it through. But Italy 2 here with a really good performance. But how are they doing in the early stages? Luca's alongside me.
Molto bene, qui abbiamo il primo aggiornamento anche in italiano per la prima fase del percorso, stiamo approcciando i primi 300 metri, stavamo portando l'attenzione ovviamente sul centro della corsa quando abbiamo visto scattare la Germania fuori dai blocchi di partenza, un'uscita rapida, pulita, bella, il passo subito a 38 colpi al minuto, quindi non una gara molto affannata all'esterno, tattica diversa invece per la Svizzera che in acqua 1 si porta in questo momento in seconda posizione. Poi ci sono gli azzurri, due giovanissimi, under 23, 1996 per Giovanni Ficarra, 1995 con Lorenzo Gerosa. Il passaggio ai 500 metri, ecco il crono, è davanti l'equipaggio della Cina, la Germania e la Svizzera, ma l'Italia è lì, è quarta in questo momento.
At the 500-meter split, it goes the way of China, but by 6/100ths of a second, i.e. nothing, ahead of Germany and Switzerland. They are absolutely bow ball to bow ball, these front three crews. Italy 2, just a little bit further back. Then it's Spain 1, and then Turkey in 6th place. But less than 3 seconds separating 1 from 6 at the 500-meter split. So let's get down to the water and rejoin France.
This is shaping up to be a great final with China and Germany really piling it on, and the Spanish crew, stroked by Jesus Gonzalez Alvarez, 41 years of age. He had a massive sprint yesterday to place himself directly for this final A, and well, that was in the second part of the race, but right now the Spanish are moving quite well, even in the first part of the race. No early leaders there, although it looks as though Germany in lane 3, Julius Peschel at the stroke seat and Sven Kessler on the bow seat from the German lightweight men's 4 of last season do have an edge here, but China, Tao Zheng and Deming Kong are piling on the pressure, still moving level with the Germans as they now approach the 1,000-meter mark.
Giovanni Ficarra e Lorenzo Gerosa da Messina a Como. Che bello il canottaggio che unisce l'Italia nel 2 senza pesi leggeri. I nostri azzurri si stanno ben comportando, sono a ridosso delle prime posizioni, sono quinti, ma assolutamente hanno la possibilità di lottare per le medaglie. Ai 1000 metri passaggio con 3 equipaggi tutti praticamente sulla stessa linea. Sono la Cina di Zheng e Kong, la Germania Germania di Kessler e Peschel, e poi la Svizzera di Rudi e Scherzi, con l'Italia che sta attaccando la Spagna di Perez, Moreno e González Alvarez in quarta posizione. In sesta invece i turchi Kartal e Unsalt.
And it looks as though the Swiss have decided to make their move earlier on. They raced in a repechage, as Rob said at the start of the race, so they have had a tough race already today, whereas the other crews in lanes 2 through 5 had probably only a relaxed morning paddle, so the legs are a bit more fresh for those crews. But a great battle is shaping up between China and Germany right next to each other, so you see them glancing over their shoulders from time to time to see what the other crew is doing, where the other crew is, and whether or not it warrants a response. But one of these crews will have to try to pull away at some stage. And Sebastian, what do you think? Which one is it going to be?
Well, I spoke to Julius Peschel and Sven Kessler after the race yesterday, and they were quite happy with how it went. They have the same preparation, of course, as the Leibway Men's 4 of Germany. They have their build towards the first peak in the season, the final Olympic qualification regatta in May. So they should be up on their game. But so are the Swiss. These two crews level in first place there. The Swiss coming from the outside, as you said, the young Swiss combination, just 22 years, not even that. Fiorin Rüdi and Joel Schürch, the 9th placed in the double sculls event last year at the under-23 level, leading the Germans by a canvas right now as we come through 1500 meters. It's the Chinese slipping back into third position under pressure from the Spanish. As you said, a combination of youth and experience in the Spanish boat as well. Then we have the Turkish combination also within grasp of the medal positions here, and Italy too, the reigning under-23 world champions in this class, trailing the field, not by much though. They close in as well. So this is going to be another cracking final here on Lake Varese, and it's going to be good also between the Germans, who try to up the rate another notch, try to get away from the rest of the pack, challenging the Swiss once again. I think Germany now has taken over, just slightly so ahead of the Swiss. Then it's Spain and it's China for third place. Really, really tight. Too close to call from my vantage point. How about you, Luca? Do you see it better?
Siamo in chiusura in queste ultime battute, come dicevi tu Sebastian. La Germania sta veramente facendo soffrire la Svizzera. La Germania che in questo momento si porta leggermente avanti sulla Svizzera. Per la terza posizione invece è lì la Cina per riuscire a conquistare la medaglia di bronzo, ma l'attacco della Spagna si fa sentire. È un attacco unico in chiusura, con la Germania che incrementa ancora la propria velocità. Sembra averne ancora nel serbatoio la Svizzera, che però non vuole lasciare questa medaglia d'oro agli amici svizzeri sul traguardo. E allora la Germania attacca ancora, Germania-Svizzera e poi Spagna.
It's tight at the line. It's just going to be Germany taking it ahead of Switzerland. Germany take the gold, and the bronze medal, I think, has gone to China. That's a terrific race from them in lane 4. So it's Germany who take the gold medal in a time of 6 minutes, 36.77 seconds, just edging out Switzerland into the silver medal position, and China with bronze.
È proprio così, veramente uno spettacolo. Vittoria della Germania al secondo posto, la Svizzera al terzo posto per una briciola la Cina, quarta la Spagna, quinta la Turchia, sesta l'Italia con gli under 23. Signore e signori, cerimonia di premiazione della regata internazionale 2016 singolo pesi leggeri maschile.
The victory ceremony for the 2016 Varese International Regatta Lightweight Men's Single Sculls.
Le medaglie saranno presentate da
The medals will be presented by
OC Board Member and President of Canottieri Varese Mauro Morello. Vincitore della medaglia d'oro in rappresentanza della Slovenia 1.
winner of the gold medal representing Slovenia 1, Rajko Hrvat.
Vincitore della medaglia d'argento in rappresentanza della Croazia.
Winner of the silver medal representing Croatia, Luka Radonic.
Vincitore della medaglia d'oro di bronzo in rappresentanza della Norvegia 1.
Winner of the bronze medal representing Norway 1, Ask Jari Tjom.
Signore e signori, applaudiamo tutti i nostri medagliati.
And ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge all our medalists.
Okay, so we now have 4 minutes until our next race. That's 2 minutes until our next race intro. So we're going to go to iTunes 1, please. Luigi, iTunes 1. Yep, go please. Good job, people. Can we put the ceremony down?
Well done, everybody.
Yeah. There's some old script. Chuck it on the floor, and we'll pick it up. Okay, so we are 1 minute 15 away from our intro from soundboard and our intro from Rob and our start list. Soundboard 1. Soundboard 1, yeah. Cool. Not yet, not yet. No. Una minuto.
Con calma, con calma. Con calma.
Calma.
Piano, piano.
Softly, softly.
45.
Thinking, isn't it?
30 seconds.
Single sculls.
Final of the women's single sculls, yeah. So we're going to go to soundboard 1 in 3, 2, 1, go soundboard 1. And go Rob with that intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, the final of the lightweight women's single sculls.
Siamo con l'ultima finale A di giornata. È il singolo pesi leggeri femminile.
The lineup in lane 1 representing Poland. In Poland 2, Joanna Dorociak. Lane 2, Italy, Federica Cesarini. In lane 3, Canada, Catherine Saux. Lane 4, Netherlands 2, Marieke Keizer. Lane 5, Netherlands 1, Merte Kruijskamp. In lane 6, Switzerland 1, Ladina Meyer.
In acqua 1 la Polonia 2, in acqua 2 Federica Cesarini Italia, in acqua 3 il Canada, in acqua 4 Olanda 2, in acqua 5 Olanda 1 e in acqua 6 Svizzera 1.
So it's Poland 2 in lane 1, Italy lane 2, Canada lane 3, Netherlands 2 lane 4, Netherlands 1 in lane 5, Switzerland 1 lane 6. And they are underway in the delayed final of the lightweight women's single sculls. The broken boat of Catherine Saux of Canada, but she's underway in a new boat now and delighted to see her waterborne. And we expect great things from her. But alongside her, Marieke Keizer of Netherlands too. Well, she was quickest in the heats, but Saux of Canada won her heat, heat 2. Cesarini of Italy did well, coming second in the first heat. And Merte Kruijskamp, Netherlands 1, second in heat 2. Poland 2, Switzerland 1. Well, they had to come through the repechage earlier on today. Dorociak of Poland 2 in lane 1. She won the repechage with Meyer of Switzerland 1 coming through in second. So these are the 6 crews contesting the final of the lightweight women's single sculls.
E abbiamo un piccolo aggiornamento subito dopo la partenza per questa regata che vede ancora un'atleta azzurra gareggiare con l'obiettivo di riuscire ad acciuffare una medaglia in questa del singolo leggero femminile per chiudere la nostra giornata. In questo momento Federica Cesarini è lì nel gruppo di testa, a condurre sono i colori della Polonia in acqua 1, ma Federica Cesarini è seconda. Federica Cesarini che nel 2012 fu terza al campionato del mondo con l'8 junior, poi un quarto posto nella passata stagione in doppio e quindi la voglia di conquistare una medaglia. Ma in genere l'anno olimpico le porta bene, perché a Plovdiv nel 2012 fu terza e quindi chissà, magari potrebbe arrivare una medaglia anche in questa occasione. Lei è nata e cresciuta alla Canottieri Gavirate, con il suo debutto agonistico nel lontano 2008, quindi 8 anni più tardi, a gareggiare qui sulle acque di casa per provare a rincorrere una medaglia importante. Ecco quindi il passaggio: Federica Cesarini passa in testa ai 500 e poi c'è la canadese al terzo posto, Polonia 2.
Well, it was a pretty fast start for Joanna Dorociak of Poland too. She was leading quite a long way, but she's dropped down now and dropping further and further back now into 5th place. Doesn't always pay off. Federica Cesarini of Italy took the lead around the 500-meter mark, but that has changed too. Let's get the picture from around 750 from France.
Around 750, we see the crews in center lanes moving up in the field a bit. This is what you see more often in international racing, where the crews that have to qualify through the repechage are in the outer lanes, and they know that they might have some speed to make up relative to the faster crews who advance directly and who are placed in the center lanes. So it's not uncommon to see one of the crews in the outer lanes just making an effort in the first part of the race to see whether they can build some distance and then hold on to it. But it has not worked out that way for Joanna Dworczak. She's now been overtaken, and now the action moves to the center lanes with Marieke Keizer of the Netherlands in lane 4, the junior world champion of last year. She is in lightweight single sculling this year. She was supposed to race here in the double, but the double had weight make issues, so she's now competing here at the single. Alongside her, Meerte Krijkamp, also of the Dutch sculling squad, also a former world champion at the senior level in the lightweight quad, but she has about 2 lengths down on the leading crews, and that is, as we approach 1,000 meter, a neck-and-neck affair between Keizer of the Netherlands on the one hand, and then Catherine Sauks of Canada on the one hand, with Federica Cesarini of Italy in third.
Forza Federica Cesarini, facci chiudere con il botto. L'azzurra è al terzo posto al passaggio ai 1000 metri, una gara che in questo momento vede condurre l'olandese Marieke Keizer davanti alla canadese Catherine Sauks, una gara molto bella, molto combattuta. In quarta posizione ancora l'olandese Meerte Krijkamp, ma Federica Cesarini sta veramente dimostrando tutto il suo valore. Giovanissima, ha soltanto 20 anni, anzi li compierà il prossimo 2 agosto, sta gareggiando con grande intensità, con grandissimo cuore.
And Marieke Keizer clearly aiming to give a positive spin to her Varese affair. The disappointment of not being able to race in a double then translated into a drive to win the single, and she's doing a very good job at it. Meanwhile, Catherine Sauks still in second position, now 1,250 meters gone. And in third place, it's Cesarini of Italy, who sees her lead threatened by Meerte Krijkamp of the Netherlands in fourth position. That is where the action is, and that is what Sebastian Frank is looking at right now.
Yes, and the last final of the day is really a beauty to watch. It's, still 4 or 5 boats within contention of the medal places with Marieke Keizer. I had the pleasure to commentate on her race last year at Rio. Fantastic final sprint she had, but maybe she doesn't even have to sprint to the line today, because she really sits on top now there, moving her boat fast and getting away from the rest of the pack, getting an advantage of 1.5 lengths now over the Canadian competitor here, Catherine Sauks, who is sitting in second place, looking over her right shoulder, slightly irritated by the pace set by the Dutch sculler. Coming up is the 1,500 meter mark, and is the Dutch sculler leading by 1.5 lengths ahead of Canada, and then some clear water, 2 lengths now to Federica Cesarini of Italy, still sitting in the third position. But what is the Swiss sculler doing? Ladina Meyer, she had to come through the repechage. Has she got some fuel left in the tank there for this last quarter of the race opening up right now? She is challenging the Italian for the bronze medal slot. Now, can she respond? Can Cesarini come back on the medal position here? Clearly in the lead now. It's the Dutch sculler Marieke Keizer of the Netherlands, and then second place still held by Catherine Sauks of Canada. Fantastic race, good single sculling by all 6 scullers. Will Cesarini win a bronze medal, or will it go to either the Swiss or the second Dutch sculler in this race? Over to you, Luca.
Grazie Sebastian, con l'ultima chiusura non possiamo che andare a far sentire il tifo della Schiranna in questo momento. Infiammiamo le tribune, siamo in chiusura con l'equipaggio ancora al centro del percorso, l'Olanda che continua a volare in acqua numero 4 per la seconda posizione e il Canada per la terza posizione. Lì la lotta tra l'equipaggio italiano e la Svizzera, bisogna incrementare la velocità. Federica Cesarini ce la sta mettendo davvero tutta, stringe i denti, incrementa il numero dei colpi, bellissimi i primi piani che ci sta regalando la televisione in queste ultime battute. Continua ad attaccare l'Olanda, all'esterno molto bene il Canada in queste ultime battute. Federica Cesarini non vuole mollare, ma la Svizzera qui in acqua numero 6 sente la pressione della tifoseria, e in queste ultime battute Federica Cesarini ce la fa, siamo in chiusura ed è così che si chiude.
Marieke Keizer, Netherlands 2, takes the gold medal. It's a length and a half win for her, ahead of Sauks of Canada, who takes silver. And the bronze medal does go to Italy's Federica Cesarini, and that has gone down really well with the home crowd here. Congratulations to her. But the gold goes the way of the Netherlands. Netherlands 2, Marieke Keizer. Catherine Sauks of Canada takes the silver, and bronze, Federica Cesarini of Italy.
Guardate lo schermo, guardate la soddisfazione, tra pochissimo la nostra azzurra pronta ad essere inquadrata per darci ovviamente anche qualche emozione in più, ed è così, eccola qua, non ne ha più neanche per sorridere, guarda la telecamera e ritorna a respirare. Brava Federica Cesarini, lei che il 2 agosto compierà gli anni, e poi la vittoria all'Olanda con il secondo posto al Canada. Signore e signori, cerimonia di premiazione della regata internazionale Varese 2016, 2 senza pesi leggeri maschile.
The victory ceremony for the 2016 Varese International Regatta Lightweight Men's Pair.
Le medaglie saranno presentate da
The medals will be presented by
General Director Varese Chamber of Commerce Mauro Temperelli. Vincitore della medaglia d'oro in rappresentanza della Germania.
winner of the gold medal representing Germany, Sven Kessler. Julius Peschel.
Vincitore della medaglia d'argento in rappresentanza della Svizzera.
Winner of the silver medal representing Switzerland, Fiorin Roedi. Joel Scher.
Vincitore della medaglia di bronzo in rappresentanza della Cina.
Winners of the bronze medal representing China, Zheng Tao. Kong Deming.
Signore e signori, applaudiamo tutti i nostri medagliati.
Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge all our medalists. Can I just tell people to stand around for the next ceremony? So, ladies and gentlemen, just a reminder, of course, that we still have the victory ceremony for the lightweight women's single sculls. That's to come up in just a couple of moments.
È una buona occasione, signore e signori, per ricordare che abbiamo ancora una premiazione. Restate con noi per celebrare le medaglie del singolo pesi leggeri femminile.
So they're the. Now I've just realised as well, because we've swapped everything round. This is now a pairs script. and it should be a single script.
Okay, how does that go then?
Should be. So it should, when you get down to the,
Same as this one, isn't it?
this one, sorry, because we didn't change the script.
So gold Olanda 2, silver
Yes.
Canada,
Bronze, Italy.
bronze Italy.
Would you like to say Federica Cesarini's name?
Yep.
Great. Yes.
Signore e signori, cerimonia di premiazione della regata internazionale Varese 2016 singolo pesi leggeri femminile.
The victory ceremony for the 2016 Varese International Regatta Lightweight Women's Single Sculls.
Le medaglie saranno presentate da
The medals will be presented by
Member of the Board, Province of Varese, Paolo Bertocchi. Vincitori della medaglia d'oro in rappresentanza dell'Olanda 2.
winner of the gold medal representing Netherlands 2, Marike Keizer.
Vincitrice della medaglia d'argento in rappresentanza del Canada.
Winner of the silver medal representing Canada, Catherine Saux.
Vincitrice della medaglia di bronzo in rappresentanza dell'Italia.
Winner of the bronze medal representing Italy,
Federica Cesarini. Signore e signori, applaudiamo tutti i nostri medagliati.
Ladies and gentlemen, please acknowledge all our medalists. Yes? So, ladies and gentlemen, that just about wraps up proceedings for day 2 of this World Rowing Cup 1 Varese in Italy. It's been a stunning day, and the weather has been kind to us. It's been calm out there, fairly benign conditions, although very overcast. But in terms of it's allowed the rowing to be very fair and unaffected by adverse weather conditions. But because of the potential for storms tomorrow, the schedule has been changed, as you know, from yesterday. So tomorrow gets underway at 9 o'clock in the morning with the B finals, starting with the women's pairs. Those B finals go through to around 10 o'clock when we get underway with the medal finals, and that is the women's pair at 10:03. Racing will continue round about until lunchtime, finishing around 20 past 1 with the final of the men's 8. So it's going to be a really packed and exciting morning, getting underway tomorrow, Sunday, at 9 o'clock local time here in Varese in Italy.
E con queste premiazioni, cari amici sportivi, noi andiamo a completare anche la seconda giornata di gare di questa Coppa del Mondo a marchio Varese. È stata una giornata meravigliosa, le nuvole hanno purtroppo coperto il cielo sopra Varese, ma grazie a questo abbiamo avuto la totale assenza di vento, quindi condizioni perfette per il canottaggio ancora una volta alla Schiranna di Varese. Un grazie veramente di cuore a tutti voi che siete stati con noi in questa giornata meravigliosa. Domani le regate inizieranno alle ore 9:00 con le finali B.
My apologies. Sorry, Franz. Oh, dear.
Marco was just in sheer agony. I mean, for him, this is like death.
Oh, dear. I do apologize. Oh,
But it was good.
oh, yeah, there is quite a breeze, isn't there?
Quindi,
Ooh, yay, yay. Right. Well done, Luca.